which is aimed at fostering economic efficiency, promoting MSMEs, of course, through sustainable practices and green technology. So from yesterday's sessions, we have been enlightened on how urban water cycle has a very significant role to play in urban planning and sustainability, and how bulk productions of bioenzymes can contribute significantly for waste management, and also how adhering to certain compliances and obtaining certain certifications will not only yield us with a better business operation, but also ensure and enhance our social presence, the business presence of our product. So yesterday's sessions set a perfect tone for the upcoming discussions which we will be having today. So I take a moment to thank all our guests, speakers, facilitators, and beyond all, our participants who, through their active participations and astounding engagement and enthusiasm, they have made a very, very significant contribution yesterday. So we will see how today's session will follow, and we have a lot on the horizon, lot in store. So we will just offer our prayers and begin with a Shanti part, and we'll begin our show. So let's start with the Shanti part. Let's all please close our eyes.
Close your eyes gently. अपनी धीरे से बंद कर लें. Stay with us for a while. कुछ क्षण के लिए हमारे साथ बने रहें. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति.
Thank you. Now, can we have national anthem before we begin to symbolize the oneness?
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा. विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा. तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे. गाहे तब जय गाथा. जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you so much. So, may I now call upon Mr. Nagesh ji, our trustee. So we have among us a very special guest, Ms. Vandana ji, and words will fall short, to describe her powerful persona. So I'd want Nagesh ji to please come upon and, introduce our guest to us.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जयश्री जी. मैं आज बहुत ही मतलब खुश हूँ एक ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पर ऐसी पर्सनालिटी को लाके कि जो एक अपने छोटे छोटे काम से, अपने छोटे छोटे सहयोग से, छोटे छोटे एफर्ट्स से इन दोनों ने मतलब हस्बैंड राकेश और वंदना जी ने किस तरीके से सोसाइटी को अपना इनपुट दिया है. और इनपुट ही नहीं दिया, उन्होंने एक एग्जाम्पल भी सेट किया है कि हम लोग अपने ब्रेव डिसीजन से कैसे काम कर सकते हैं. तो मैं वंदना जी को ही बिना समय गंवाए उन्हीं को आमंत्रित करता हूं और उन्हीं के शब्दों से ही अपन लोग इस चीज़ को कहेंगे, क्योंकि मैं इंट्रोडक्शन दूंगा तो बड़ा हो जाएगा, क्योंकि मैं बहुत करीब से दोनों को जानता हूं और मैं उसमें इमोशनल भी हो सकता हूं. इसलिए मैं वंदना जी को ही कहूँगा कि वे अपनी बात तफसील से कहें, अच्छे से कहें. और उनका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है इस फोरम के ऊपर, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे साथ में जुड़ के ऐसे लोग आएँ जो एक ब्रेव मेंटलिटी के साथ में आपको बूस्ट कर सकते हैं, जो स्टार्टअप के साथ में स्टार्ट देते हैं, जो स्टार्टअप को मेंटेन करने के लिए अपना स्टार्ट देते हैं, जो खुद बैटरी की तरह काम करते हैं, जो छुपे होते हैं लेकिन एक एनर्जाइज करने का काम करते हैं। ये नाम नाम वंदना है लेकिन पावर बैंक है। वंदना जी, आपका स्वागत है।
थैंक यू सो मच भाई साहब। मैं वंदना मुंशी भोपाल से हूँ और थोड़ा सा अपना चाइल्डहुड का बताना चाहती हूँ। मेरी पेरेंटिंग मेरे नाना नानी ने जॉइंट फैमिली में करी। कुछ परिस्थिति ऐसी थी कि मैं अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ नहीं रह पाई और जब 2.5 साल की थी तो आँख खोला तो नाना नानी दिखे और नाना हमेशा प्यार करते हुए दिखे और नानी हमेशा रिंग मास्टरी करते हुए और एकदम डिसिप्लिन देते हुए, और ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कहीं मिलिट्री वाले सिस्टम में हम लोग आ गए हैं। तो उस टाइप से वो चलता रहा। लेकिन उस समय चाइल्डहुड में सिर्फ एक चीज पे फोकस थे, एजुकेशन। तो मैंने मतलब जब समझना शुरू किया तो बस मैंने घर में एक ही टर्म सीखी, एजुकेशन, प्रॉपर एजुकेशन, प्रॉपर एजुकेशन। उसमें मैंने फर्क नहीं सीखा कि ये लड़का है या लड़की है, क्योंकि मेरा बर्थ 1969 को हुआ और उस टाइम बहुत ज्यादा लड़कियों को ऐसे पढ़ाते नहीं थे। और उस सराउंडिंग में मेरी फैमिली ने मतलब पढ़ाई का इम्पोर्टेंस समझा और पढ़ाई के लिए सब कुछ डाला। तो शायद मैंने भी एजुकेशन और प्रॉपर एजुकेशन वर्ड ही जिंदगी में लर्न किया और उसको जब मौका मिला तब सोसाइटी के सामने उसको प्रेजेंट किया। तो कुछ ऐसा हुआ जब मैं स्कूलिंग वगैरह जो आपके चाइल्डहुड की रहती है उस टाइप से हुई। थोड़े दिन बाद पता चला कि मेरा भाई मुझसे 3 साल छोटा है और वो भी नाना नानी के पास आ गया और वो 1 साल सवा साल का है। तो उसको भी मुझे केयर करनी है और साथ ही साथ जॉइंट फैमिली में जो लोग हैं वहां पर भी मुझे हेल्प करनी है, क्योंकि कुछ बीमारी तमारी ये सब इतनी जॉइंट फैमिली में अलग अलग एज के कारण ये सब चलती रही। तो वो सब भी मैंने बहुत करीबी से ये चीज महसूस करी। और अपने चाइल्डहुड में एक और चीज प्रॉब्लम मैंने महसूस करी जिसके कारण मैं थोड़ी सी, घर में लोग कहते थे मैं विद्रोही हो गई हूँ, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि मैंने सही काम किया। मैं छुआछूत डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जो रहता था, उन्होंने पढ़ाई में कभी गर्ल्स और बॉय उसमें अंतर नहीं समझा। पढ़ाई के लिए पूरा प्लेटफॉर्म अवेलेबल कराया, इवन सर घर पे आते थे और बिल्कुल लाइब्रेरीज ज्वाइन कराई, बुक्स घर में आती थी। लेकिन जो लड़का और लड़की के डिफरेंस जो रहता था पेरेंटिंग में, वो मैंने नानी से और अपनी जॉइंट फैमिली से मतलब काफी महसूस किया। और एजुकेशन के थ्रू उनको बचपन से समझाती रही, ये गलत है, ये गलत है, अब फर्क क्यों, फर्क क्यों। तो दिमाग में कहीं ना कहीं ये चीज थी कि घर से ही लड़ाई करनी पड़ी इस टॉपिक पे। तो वो उस चीज को एक छोटे से दिमाग में वो था कि यार मैं अपनी लाइफ ऐसे आगे जीऊंगी जहां लड़का और लड़की में डिफरेंस नहीं हो और दोनों को इक्वल उसके साथ ट्रीट किया जाए। और शायद मेरे फादर भी कुछ इस टाइप से, एजुकेशन को तो उन्होंने प्रमोट किया, कभी भी गर्ल चाइल्ड एजुकेशन को कभी उन्होंने वो नहीं किया। लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं एक लड़के वाली जो मानसिकता थी फर्स्ट चाइल्ड होने के बाद, वो मैंने देखी तो वो मुझे बहुत बचपन में बुरी लगती थी। एनी हाउ, स्कूल गए, बहुत अच्छे स्कूल में भोपाल का एडमिशन हुआ, कंपटीशन के थ्रू हुआ और एक शानदार एजुकेशन मैंने पाया। लेकिन सेकंड क्लास में मेरे टीचर्स मुझे समझ गए थे कि ये गुड ओरेटर बनेगी और पता नहीं जिंदगी में क्या क्या करेगी। क्योंकि जब मैं बचपन में बोलती थी तो दूसरे लोग जब स्पीच देते थे तो उनकी इतनी ध्यान से नहीं सुना जाता था और मेरी स्पीचेस को सुना जाता था। तो मुझे कुछ लग गया कि यार मैं कुछ करने के लिए आई हूँ और ये लोग इतना मुझे सपोर्ट और प्रमोट करते हैं। तो मेरी हर स्किल्स का डेवलपमेंट जो था वो घर के लोगों ने तो एजुकेशन उस पर फोकस होके किया, और जो स्पोर्ट्स है, आपका लाइब्रेरी है, डांस है, आपका कल्चर और एक्टिविटीज हैं, या सीआर के जो आपका मॉनिटर वगैरह जो बनने के लिए जो वो है, या हाउस कैप्टन है, वहाँ मुझे स्कूल ने प्रमोट किया। तो एक लीडरशिप की जो एक ऑनरशिप वो मिली, और जो घर में थोड़ी सी जो आवाज लड़की के कारण दबा दी जाती थी, तो वो हौसला जो है घर में स्कूल के थ्रू जीता, क्योंकि स्कूल ने मुझे लीडरशिप के लिए वो किया। और हाउस कैप्टन वगैरह सब रहने के कारण मेरे घर में अच्छी खासी, मेरे घर में वो लड़ाई होती थी, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन और लड़का लड़की और छुआछूत जो उस जमाने में चलता था उसके। तो ये तो रही घर की फाइट। ग्रेजुअली जो शिक्षा लेते हैं वो शिक्षा लेते रहे, कंपटीशन की तैयारी करी। और फिर एक बार मेरी लड़ाई हुई 11th के बाद कि मुझे इंजीनियरिंग में जाना था, और पता नहीं क्यों मेरे फादर सिविल इंजीनियर थे, एग्जीक्यूटिव इंजीनियर थे इरिगेशन में। तो मैं उनसे बहुत प्रभावित थी, जब उनके साथ डैम वगैरह पर जाती थी, एग्रीकल्चर लैंड वगैरह सब दिखती थी, तो दिमाग में मेरे वो पिक्चर रहती थी, यार पानी कैसे जाता है, कैनल कैसे बनती है, किसान क्या करता है, किसान कैसे उगा लेता है, ये सब चीजें थी। तो वो सब चीजों को मैंने क्या बोलते हैं, जब स्कूल का लंच होता था फटाफट 5 मिनट पे खत्म करके वहाँ लाइब्रेरी में जाके मैं पढ़ती थी। लाइब्रेरी के जो सर थे उससे इतनी बढ़िया सेटिंग हो गई मेरी लाइफ में उनसे कि वो मुझे बुक्स ऑफ रिकॉर्ड देने लगे और मैं उनको टाइमली लौटाने लगी। तो बहुत बढ़िया सेटिंग से मैंने लाइब्रेरी को स्कूल की यूज किया और उस लाइब्रेरी से मेरे जो मन में क्यूरियोसिटी इतनी सारी होती थी, अलग अलग जब चीजों को बाहर निकल के देखती थी, तो वो सब मेरी लाइब्रेरी ने मुझे वो किया। तो मैं मतलब लाइक वो सर मेरे जीवन में एक बहुत अच्छे आए और वो नॉर्मली किसी और बच्चे को घर के लिए नहीं देते थे, पता नहीं क्यों इतनी ट्यूनिंग थी, तो उन्होंने मुझे लाइब्रेरी को पूरा यूज किया मैंने, और लाइब्रेरी में हर फील्ड में मैं अपने आप को उगाई। जब मैं घर में आती तो नाना मुझे गांधी शांति प्रतिष्ठान भेज देते, वहां पे भी एक लाइब्रेरी। तो वहां पे भी जब आपको बुद्ध गांधी और दुनिया का सारा सिस्टम वो सब समझने आने लगा, तो लगने लगा यार जिंदगी लिखनी पड़ती है, जिंदगी इजी नहीं है, आपको अपनी जगह खुद बनानी पड़ती है, मिलती नहीं है ये इसमें। तो ये चीज मुझे अच्छे से समझ में आ गई इन सब लोगों के बीच में और लाइब्रेरी के बीच में करते करते। जब 11th में आई तो एक मेरी फाइटिंग चालू हुई कि मेरे को सिविल इंजीनियर बनना है और मैं कुछ करना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन बस यही है लड़की को हम बाहर नहीं भेजेंगे, सिविल इंजीनियर लड़की के लिए नहीं है और तुम तो यही करो, ये है वो है। पढ़ने के लिए मना नहीं है, आप तो बुक्स लेके अब आओ, आपको जो और सोर्सेस चाहिए वो बताओ, साइकिल ला देंगे हम आपको, उस जमाने में मोपेड ला देंगे, कानेटिक आने लगी तो हम कानेटिक ला देंगे, लेकिन बाहर नहीं जाना है। और 16 की जब मैं होने लगी तो उस जमाने में ये रहता था भाई लड़की है इसकी मैरिज करनी, चलो लड़के देखो, तो पता नहीं समझ में नहीं आता था, इधर पढ़ाने का बोलते इधर मैरिज की बात करते। एनी हाउ वो एक लाइफ का बहुत गंदा वो पीरियड रहा और उसको मैंने फेस किया। और उसके बाद मैंने बीएससी मैथ्स से किया और एमएससी मैथ्स में स्टार्ट ही किया था प्रीवियस। और मैं यूपीएससी देना चाहती थी क्योंकि मेरी जो पर्सनालिटी है वो आईएएस आईपीएस वाली को डिजर्व करती है और स्पोर्ट्समैन वाली पर्सनालिटी मेरी रही। तो मैंने सोचा यार मैं वो दूं। अचानक मेरी जिंदगी में मेरे हस्बैंड आ गए, वो पहले और आखिरी इंसान थे जिंदगी में, और कुछ ऐसे सर्कमस्टेंसेस बने कि मेरी मैरिज उनसे हुई। फिर मैंने उनसे जब प्रॉमिस लिया कि क्या आप मुझे पीएचडी मैथ्स में कराएंगे, चलिए लाइए प्रोफेसर ही बन जाते हैं, क्या आप यूपीएससी दिलवाने देंगे। तो उन्होंने, उनकी फैमिली ने हाँ 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 बोला। लेकिन जब मेरी मैरिज हुई तो फिर फैमिली जो है वो उस चीज से मुकर गई कि नहीं नहीं आपको ये फैमिली छूट जाती है, लड़का अलग रहता है लड़की अलग रहती है, फिर वो मतलब लाइक दुनिया के 100 प्रॉब्लम्स वो सुनाने लगे ऐसा वैसा। और चूंकि मेरी इंटरकास्ट मैरिज थी तो वो लोग ज्यादा इनसिक्योर थे और मैं तो शुरू से मतलब बिंदास टाइप की, तो मुझे ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ा। बट मुझे एक बार लगा लाइफ से कि यार इतने शानदार आदमी से मेरी शादी हुई है और इतनी हैप्पी लाइफ हम लोग मिनिमम रिसोर्सेस पे लिखने वालों में से हैं, तो क्यों ना इस बंदे के कारण चलो ये एग्जाम देने का और ये सब जो भूत आया है वो सब छोड़ दो। तो मैंने पहला अपनी कुर्बानी सिविल इंजीनियर ना बनकर दी। दूसरी कुर्बानी जो है मैंने पीएचडी में एडमिशन नहीं मिला ले पाई या यूपीएससी नहीं दे पाई, दूसरी कुर्बानी दी। फिर तीसरा मैंने एडॉक पे वाटर पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड जाना गई, वहां पर मैंने जॉब वगैरह किया। 6 महीने मेरा एडॉक पीरियड था, सेकंड टर्नओवर मुझे मिल रहा था, इनफैक्ट मैं गवर्नमेंट सेमी गवर्नमेंट की जॉब में आ जाती। लेकिन फिर इन लॉज और बाकी सब उस जमाने की, मैं उनको कोई दोष नहीं देना चाहती, उस समय साइकोलॉजी और उस समय सब माहौल ही ऐसा था, तो मुझे उन सब माहौल से समझौता करना पड़ा। तो उनके हिसाब से ये था कि भाई 6-7 महीने नौकरी कर लिए, अब आके आप फैमिली और दुनिया भर का नाटक नहीं करना है क्या, और यही करते रहेंगे। तो उन लोगों को लगता था कि भोपाल में हम हैप्पी रह रहे कि नहीं, हम लोगों में अंडरस्टैंडिंग और प्यार है कि नहीं, हम नहीं समझा पाए इतनी छोटी सी उम्र में, क्योंकि तब मेरी 22 साल एज थी। अल्टीमेटली मैंने इनके कारण थर्ड बार मैंने अपना सेमी गवर्नमेंट का जॉब छोड़ा। फिर मैंने कहा वरना हार नहीं माननी, तेरे एजुकेशन फालतू नहीं जाना चाहिए, तेरे टीचर्स ने बताया तो कुछ करने आई है और तू एकदम लोगों से अलग है। फिर मैंने सोचा कि नहीं, एजुकेशन तो नुकसान नहीं जाना चाहिए। देन मैंने स्कूल ज्वाइन किया। स्कूल में मैंने 7-8 महीने वहां पर जॉब किया और स्कूल बहुत प्रेयर में जाना पड़ता था, 7 बजे वहां पहुंचना पड़ता था, तो मेरे लिए डिफिकल्ट टास्क थी हस्बैंड और फैमिली को संभालना। बट मैं 3 बजे रात के से उठ के सारा काम करके सारा जाती और 2:30 बजे के बाद वापस सारा काम करती। बट पता उन लोग को वो भी शायद पसंद नहीं आया, उनको लग रहा था कि हमारा बेटा सफर कर रहा है, और बेटा इतना ओबीडियंट और इतना रिस्पेक्ट करने वाला कि वो बोल ही नहीं पाया कि यार जाने दो ना, करने दो उसके मन की, सारा तो करके जाती है वो। लेकिन वो चलता रहा। फिर मेरी वो भी छूट गया। मुझे बहुत दुख हुआ कि यार 4th-5वीं बार मैंने सेक्रीफाइस किया। फिर मैंने सोचा लाओ हटा अलग, अपनी कोचिंग डालो। और मैं कोचिंग डालते मैथ्स फिजिक्स का पढ़ाते पढ़ाते मैं पहुंच गई 80 बच्चों की स्ट्रेंथ पे, और 80 बच्चों को हैंडल करना मेरे लिए बहुत टफ था। बट फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज भी थे, सोशल जो चल रहे थे। इस दौरान मेरा एक मिसकैरेज हो गया, गायनिक दुनिया भर की प्रॉब्लम, और उस प्रॉब्लम के साथ मनी की भी जरूरत थी। हालांकि मैंने गैजेटेड पोस्ट पे जो बंदा था, एकदम शानदार, ब्रिलियंट, इंटेलिजेंट, वेरी केयरिंग, वेरी हेल्पिंग, वेरी सपोर्टिव, शायद दुनिया में उनके जैसा कोई नहीं हो सकता है, उस बंदे से मेरी मैरिज हुई। बट मैंने कोचिंग वापस स्टार्ट करी, और कोचिंग मेरी बहुत शानदार चलने लगी। घर के पूरे हालात बदल दिए, और वेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के साथ और वेरी केयरिंग और लविंग अफेक्शन के साथ हम लोग एक शांति से रहने लगे। क्योंकि बुद्ध के पढ़ने के बाद मैंने सीखा कि पैसा और दुनिया सेकेंडरी है, पहले जीवन में शांति होनी चाहिए। ठीक है, रहने लगे। लेकिन फिर हस्बैंड ने एक फ्लैट बुक कर दिया, हम लोग बाहर आ गए, दूसरी रिमोट एरिया में आ गए। और फिर मेरी कोचिंग जो थी वो कनिष्क मेरे बेटे के आने के बाद वो कोचिंग मेरे को वो करनी पड़ी। लेकिन मैंने फिर हार नहीं मानी, मैंने कहा ना। फिर मैंने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पर पढ़ाना शुरू कर दिया, ताकि एक अच्छा मुझे अमाउंट मिले, और साथ ही साथ घर के मैं सपोर्ट कर पाऊँ, और साथ ही साथ कनिष्क की पेरेंटिंग में कोई फर्क ना पड़े। तो मैंने ऐसे हालात क्रिएट करे, और लेकिन मैंने पढ़ाना नहीं छोड़ा। उस पढ़ाई के दौरान क्या बोलते हैं, हस्बैंड के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाती रही। हस्बैंड हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट में गैजेटेड पोस्ट पे थे, उनके प्रमोशंस वगैरह हुए, वो सीनियर क्लास 1 ऑफिसर बने, और उन्होंने डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स पे काम किया। उन प्रोग्राम की मैं सारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग रखती हूँ। और उन्होंने ABCD से हेल्थ को बनाया, NHM बनाया, नेशनल हेल्थ प्रोग्राम डेवलप किया, डिपार्टमेंट डेवलप किया, प्लानिंग, वो इतनी प्लानिंग, एज ए प्लानिंग ऑफिसर काम किया, एज ए एडवाइजर उन्होंने काम किया, और गवर्नमेंट से लड़ झगड़ कर, कैबिनेट से लड़ झगड़ कर, बजट एलोकेशन से लेके उन्होंने क्या नहीं किया। आज जो लोग बाग काम कर रहे हैं, अगर उन जैसे ऑफिसर्स A से Z तक काम नहीं करते तो Z वाला प्लेटफॉर्म हम हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट को नहीं दे पाते। इसलिए 30 साल में हमने बहुत भयानक काम किया। इवन मैंने कभी ये नहीं उनको बोला कि यार तुम टाइम नहीं दे रहे हो। मैं हमेशा उनको बोलती रही कि आप कुछ करने आए हैं, आप अपने सेटिस्फेक्शन लेवल तक करके आइए, और उसके बाद आपको लगता है कि घर में सुकून है और आप अच्छे से शांति से हमारे साथ रह पाएंगे, तो भले ही आप आधा पौन घंटा दीजिए, लेकिन वो जिंदगी भर यही करते रहे। और उन्होंने हेल्थ में नाम कमाया, हेल्थ में पॉलिसी बनाई, और अलग अलग सेक्शंस पे काम हुए, और हेल्थ पे ही वो कुर्बान हो गए पैंडेमिक के बाद। और वो उनको कुछ भी मतलब प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, ना डायबिटीज, ना थायराइड, और ना आपके BP, ना का ट्राइग्लिसराइड, ना कोलेस्ट्रॉल, एकदम फिट बंदा। लेकिन ओवर एक्सर्शन, और लोगों की जान बचाने, और लोगों को समझाने, लोगों को अवेयर करने, प्रोग्राम्स डेवलप करने, नेशनल पॉलिसीज को पैंडेमिक में अप्लाई करने, इन सब में वो इतने थे कि उनकी 2-3 घंटे भी नींद नहीं हो पाती थी। तब भी मुझे लगता था, शायद अब मैं सोचती हूँ तो अब मुझे लगता है कि सैनिक लोग जो रहते हैं उनका भी जो प्रोग्राम रहता है वो प्री प्लान गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से रहता है, लेकिन शायद हस्बैंड के इस पैंडेमिक में कोई प्री प्लान नहीं था। और मैंने ये समझा कि नेशनल सब लोग डर के मारे अंदर हैं, लेकिन जो ऑफिसर्स हैं वो अंदर नहीं हो सकते, और उनको ग्राउंड लेवल पे काम करना पड़ेगा, और पब्लिक को बचाना होगा। तो यूं समझिए हमने लाखों जान बचाई हैं, और बहुत ज्यादा सब कुछ हो सकता था। और उस समय जो हमारे पास विपत्ति आई, उसमें A से लेकर पता नहीं हमने कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म तक काम किया है, और बियॉन्ड द प्लेटफॉर्म, बियॉन्ड द बजट, बियॉन्ड द सब कुछ हमने काम किया है। इवन हम दोनों कोविड पे हुए, हम लोग हॉस्पिटलाइज थे, तो हस्बैंड 17-18 कंप्यूटर लेके बैठे रहते थे, वहां से भी वो नॉन स्टॉप काम करते। और जब वो 18 दिन बाद घर में आया तो 19वें दिन से वो काम करते रहे। तो कार्डिफ के लिए में उनके साथ हादसा हुआ, और जैसे तैसे मैं संभली। बट इस दौरान मैं थोड़ा सा कंटिन्यू करना चाहूंगी कि जब मैं फ्लैट में शिफ्ट हुई, मैंने वापस अपनी कोचिंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पे ज्वाइन करी, और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पे ज्वाइन करने के बाद कनिष्क की पेरेंटिंग करी, एक अच्छी माँ बनने की कोशिश करी, परफेक्ट वाइफ तो थी, और एक अच्छी सोसाइटी में एक अच्छी लोगों की फ्रेंड थी, सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स पे इतना सारा सब बोलती थी। हस्बैंड ने कई बार बोला यार मोबाइल का जमाना आ गया, तुझे ला देता हूँ। मैंने कहा नहीं। लैपटॉप का जमाना आ गया, नहीं। मैंने मेरे बेटे के 12th होने के बाद मेरे पास मोबाइल आया है, और मेरे पास लैपटॉप जैसी चीज आई, और फिर उसको मैंने वर्ल्ड के लिए यूज किया। लेकिन मैं उसकी पेरेंटिंग और इस सब पे कमाने के साथ साथ एक वाइफ का रोल निभाने के साथ साथ एक अच्छे मतलब लाइक इन लॉज के लिए, फैमिली के लिए एक अच्छी बेटी, और सारे रोल्स निभाते हुए, और सारा कर्ज उतारते हुए मैं अपने हस्बैंड के साथ लाइफ में आगे बढ़ी। और फिर उसके बाद कनिष्क की पेरेंटिंग पे फोकस रही। इस दौरान कनिष्क की पेरेंटिंग में एजुकेशन जो है, इंटायर एजुकेशन कनिष्क को दिया। मेरा बेटा लिखता नहीं था, मेरा बेटा ड्राइंग नहीं बनाता था, और नर्सरी KG1 में जब टीचर बोलती थी इसको सर्कल बनाने नहीं आ रहा, तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता था। तो एक माँ जिंदगी में क्या नहीं कर सकती है। उसने राइटिंग सीखी, राइटिंग क्लास ली, कैलीग्राफी की क्लास ली, पेंटिंग क्लास ली, ड्राइंग क्लास ली, शेडिंग क्लास ली, पता नहीं कौन कौन सी क्लासेस ली। उस पर नो डाउट लाखों मेहनत करके कमाया मैंने, लेकिन वो सिर्फ बेटे के लिए मैंने किया था कि मेरा बेटा इस भीड़ के साथ बैठेगा तो शायद वो आगे बढ़ेगा। मैंने मेंटल मैथ्स की क्लास ली ताकि बेटे की क्लास वाइज उसका मेंटल लेवल जो है कम से कम क्लास 2-3 क्लास उसका आगे रहे। और मैं इस सब काम में बहुत सफल हुई। मेरा बेटा थ्रू आउट 8 सेक्शन में टॉप करता गया। और एक दिन हम लोग IIT और JEE मेंस की प्रिपरेशन करने लगे। बेटे ने JEE मेंस निकाली और बेटा जो है वो कॉलेज, नेशनल कॉलेज में वो पढ़ने चला गया। अब हम लोगों की जिंदगी थोड़ी सी वैक्यूम हो गई थी और हम लोग और ज्यादा क्लोज आ गए थे और ज्यादा लोग समझने लगे थे, क्योंकि एक जो लाइफ थी उसमें सैचुरेशन आ चुका था। एक घर बना लिया था, बेटा हमने कॉलेज पहुंचा दिया था, जो कर्ज वर्ज थे वो नहीं थे। हस्बैंड काफी आगे बढ़ चुके थे अपने प्रोग्राम्स और अपनी हेल्थ सर्विसेज और प्लानिंग कमीशन और आधार जैसे उन्होंने प्रोजेक्ट्स में जो काम किया उसमें वो बहुत आगे निकल चुके थे। बहुत शांति और बहुत वो जिंदगी थी। लेकिन हस्बैंड ने इंसिस्ट किया कि नहीं, जाओ जिम जाओ, क्योंकि आप तब स्वस्थ रह पाओगे लाइफ में जब आपकी पार्टनर स्वस्थ हो, ताकि हम लॉन्ग लाइफ अच्छे से प्यार से जी पाए। तो उनकी ये बात मुझे बहुत इंस्पायरिंग लगी और वो मैं जिद करती थी नहीं जाऊंगी, लेकिन उन्होंने 1 हफ्ते तक मेरे साथ मेहनत की, मुझे जिम छोड़ने गए और मुझे आदत, उन्होंने ऐसी एडिक्शन डाल दी है कि अब मेरा जिम नहीं छूटता है। और मुझे हेल्थ सर्विसेज से, हेल्थ तो बहुत अच्छे से समझती थी और डाइट हेल्थ सर्विसेज में हस्बैंड होने के कारण बहुत अच्छे से समझती थी। और फिर मेरे हाथ में तो एक तीतर बटेर लग गई थी, जो लैपटॉप था और एक मोबाइल था, तो मैं उसका यूज सिर्फ पढ़ाई और उसमें सब करने लगी। अल्टीमेटली मैंने हेल्थ, फिटनेस और डाइट पे बोलना शुरू किया, लोगों को जागरूक होना शुरू किया। और मैं और मेरे हस्बैंड, मेरे बेटा एग्जाम्पल है। हमें कोई लाइफ टाइम वाली कोई डिसीज नहीं है, हम लोग कोई सिंगल मेडिसिन नहीं ले रहे हैं और फिट हैं। और मैं तो पता नहीं बहुत तूफान करती हूँ, मतलब जिम में क्या नहीं करती हूँ, बस सब काम करती हूँ जिंदगी में, ट्रैकिंग से लेके मतलब क्या क्या, मतलब लाइक बहुत ज्यादा। और सेम हस्बैंड का रहा, सेम बेटे का रहा, और हम लोग वो हैं। तो मेरे को हेल्थ सर्विसेज से, मैंने हस्बैंड को क्लोज से यही सीखा, हेल्थ डॉक्टर्स के बीच में, कि उन्होंने मेरी लाइफ में एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज लाया। डाइट फिटनेस पे मैंने काम किया वो। उसके बाद पैंडेमिक को आया, पैंडेमिक में थोड़ा सा घर में रहना पड़ा, लेकिन पढ़ाई स्किल्स अपनी मैंने पढ़ाई उसमें यूज करा और लोगों को अवेयर करती रही मैं। लेकिन पैंडेमिक के बाद थोड़ा सा एक बार डॉक्टर एम्स के कांटेक्ट में आई, तो उन्होंने बोला कि भाभी आपको पता है सर के जो है ये पूरे कैंसर डिपार्टमेंट में भोपाल एम्स में 35 कटआउट्स लगे हैं। तो आपको पता है कि आपने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी इन लोगों के साथ सारा निकाल दी है, लेकिन आप भी कुछ करने आई हैं और प्रोडक्टिव एज तो आपकी खत्म नहीं हुई है, समझिए आपकी प्रोडक्टिव एज स्टार्ट हुई है और यू डू समथिंग, और वो करिए आप सोसाइटी के लिए जो आप करने आई हैं, जो आप नहीं है। तो उससे एंजाइना पेन नहीं होगा और आप बहुत फिट रहेंगी। तो मुझे उनकी बात बहुत दिमाग में लगी और फिर मैंने सोचा कि लाओ मैं काम करती हूँ। अचानक मुझे 4 प्रोजेक्ट मिले, मैंने लोगों के घर रेनोवेशन रिपेयरिंग का काम करा। मेरी ख्वाहिश थी मैं सिविल इंजीनियर बनने की, तो मैंने सोचा क्या करें। उसके लिए मैंने स्वीडन की बुक्स, ब्लॉग्स और यूट्यूब की बहुत हेल्प ली और मैंने 4 घर बना मारे। 5वां घर जो मेरे को मिला वो बहुत चैलेंजिंग था। वो एक अनाथ बच्चे का था और वो बहुत ही स्लम एरिया में रहता था और उसकी जिंदगी कहानी बहुत उलझी हुई थी और कोई आर्किटेक्ट हाथ नहीं डाल रहा था, इवन हमारे पास पैसा नहीं था। उसके बाद हमारे पास टोटल 6.5 लाख के करीब मैक्सिमम थे। और 6.5 लाख में अगर मैं पूरा डिमोलिश करके बनाती तो शायद मेरी जो नींव बन रही थी 10 बाय 40 के प्लॉट पे, वो मेरी नींव ही जो थी वो करीबन 3.5-4 लाख की बन रही थी लो कॉस्ट पे। तो मैं बचे हुए में घर कैसे बनाती, और उस लड़के के लिए छत देना मेरे लिए प्रायोरिटी थी, क्योंकि उसके बनाए हुए जो एक पेरेंट्स थे वो अपने बनाए हुए पेरेंट्स की इतनी रेस्पेक्ट कर रहा। तो मुझे लगा कि यार ये अनाथ होके बजे पेरेंट्स बनाए हुए की इतना रेस्पेक्ट करता, तो मैं इस बच्चे का काम फ्री में क्यों नहीं कर सकती हूँ। और मेरे को अभी कोई पैसे की जरूरत नहीं है, मेरी लाइफ में बहुत सेटिस्फेक्शन है। मैंने सोचा लाओ करें, तो मैंने वहाँ बहुत हर्डल्स पाए। आजू बाजू की जो दीवार है बस वो रहने के बाद मैंने पूरा फुटिंग जो है पुरानी यूज करी और उसके बाद मैंने वो घर बनाया। और 6.5 लाख का जो घर बनाया मैंने, उसमें मैंने दुनिया भर की फिटिंग्स के साथ बनाया। और वाकई मैं चाहती हूँ कि ये एक मॉडल के रूप में आए और गवर्नमेंट इसको समझे कि आप इतने बड़े ह्यूज बिल्डिंग्स बना के दे रहे हैं, उसमें वो लोग टंकी रख रहे हैं, छोटी सी बालकनी में कपड़े सुखा रहे हैं, बच्चों को रख रहे हैं। तो ये इस टाइप से ना वो करें। अगर हम लोग 10x30, 10x40 का उनको प्लॉट दे दें, तो वो लोग उस प्लॉट पे एक शानदार घर बनाए, और उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट जब बढ़े तो वो सेकंड फ्लोर बना दे, और एक उनको टाउनशिप टाइप का दें, एक सिमेट्री में हम दें। तो मैं सोचती हूँ कि ये वाला जो काम है इस टाइप से होना चाहिए। लेकिन मुझे खुद नहीं मालूम था कि मैं इतना अच्छा घर बना पाऊंगी, और उसमें बनाने में इतने हर्डल्स आए, क्योंकि मैं उस बच्चे की नौकरी भी नहीं छुटा सकती थी। वो 45-50 हजार रुपये महीना पूरे दिन 24 घंटा लग के कमा रहा था। तो अगर मैं उसको घर पे बैठाती या उसको काम पे लगा देती, तो शायद वो उसकी नौकरी चली जाती, तो मैं वो भी काम नहीं कर सकती थी। तो मैंने सारा काम किया, मैंने सिविल इंजीनियर का काम किया, मैंने कॉन्ट्रैक्टर का काम किया, मैंने दुकानों पे जाके फाइट करी, मैंने डीलर प्राइस पे सारी चीजें जुटाई, मैं गांव से लेबर लेके आई, और हाफ रेट में मैंने लेबर जुटाई, और ट्रैक्टर वालों से बात करी, ट्रैक्टर पे मैं उसको लाने लगी। मेरी कुछ सरपंचों ने गांव में हेल्प करी, मैंने गांव से सारी सब चीजें खरीदी लो कॉस्ट पे, ताकि मुझे यहाँ एक एक पैनी में बचा पाऊं, और उसका मैंने एक महल टाइप का बना दिया। जब लोगों के सामने आया तो लोगों ने बोला ये क्या ओहियो की होटल है। और फिर मेरे लिए वो एक बहुत और एक एनर्जी टाइप का आ गया कि 5 महीने में मैंने क्या बना दिया। और मैं इतनी मतलब थक गई थी कि अब बस ये हट जाए मेरी जिंदगी से, मैंने कहाँ ले लिया, मतलब लाइक बहुत बार टूटी मैं। लेकिन वो प्रोजेक्ट जब पूरा हुआ तो मुझे और कुछ लगा कि यार तूफान वाली जिंदगी में ये करना चाहिए। फिर बीच में मैंने एक घर भी डिजाइन किया था, जिसमें वो लेडी सारी चीजें फेंक रही थी, और मैंने मोबाइल पे जब देखा तो मैंने सोचा यार फेंक क्यों रही है, इससे तो मैं तेरा सोफा, इससे तो मैं तेरे टेबल वगैरह सब डिजाइन कर सकती हूँ। तो मैंने उसके टेबल सोफे सब डिजाइन कर मारे, और बहुत ही लो कॉस्ट में। तब मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस आया, यार ये दिमाग अपन चला क्यों नहीं रहे थे। आप तो एक आर्किटेक्ट, इंजीनियर और इंटीरियर डिजाइनर वाले पोर्शन में जाने वाले थे, मैथ्स में एमएससी किया तो क्या हुआ, चलो उसको कैट कैम नहीं आ रहा है हमें सॉफ्टवेयर, लेकिन हमको ये तो चीज समझ में आ रही है ना कि यार हम क्या कर सकते हैं। तो मैंने वो सब डिजाइन वगैरह किया, और ये घर में मैंने उस बच्चे को बोला था ये पकड़ 6 लाख का चेक, और अगर मैं तेरा कुछ नहीं बना पाई तो मुझसे 6 लाख तू ले ले, लेकिन मुझे मेरे मन की करने दे। तो मैंने इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट भी सारे डिजाइन किए, आपकी जो पाइपिंग थी आपकी नल वगैरह की, प्लम्बिंग की, वो सब डिजाइन की। मैंने डोर्स डिजाइन किए, विंडोज डिजाइन किए, पूरा कलर थीम पूरा डिजाइन किया, पूरा किचन डिजाइन किए, एवरीथिंग बिना किसी उसके सिंपल ड्राइंग से। और उन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर वो जो रखे थे लेबर, उसके दिमाग में ठसवाना मेरे लिए एक चैलेंज था। तो मैंने वो सब भी काम किया। तो वो 5 महीने मैं सच में अपने आप को और घर को नहीं देख पाई, लेकिन मैं इसलिए कर पाई क्योंकि कनिष्क हैदराबाद ये बैंगलोर में जॉब कर रहे थे, तो वो मुझसे दूर थे, तो मेरी जिंदगी में वैक्यूम था, तो मैंने उस टाइम को यूटिलाइज किया। अब उसके बाद मैंने सोचा कि बेटा है वो बैंगलोर में है, वो कैसे भोपाल आएगा, कि तो हम लोग कोई स्टार्टअप खोले या कोई बिजनेस टाइप का करें। लेकिन मेरे दिमाग में पता नहीं क्यों इतना एग्रीकल्चर पढ़ के दिमाग में ये था कि मैं कुछ एग्रीकल्चर का वो करूं। तो मैं लैंड सर्च कर रही हूँ, और मैंने इस दौरान अपने पैसों से 19 कंट्री घूमी है। तो 19 कंट्री में मेरे को बहुत एग्रीकल्चर का एक्सपीरियंस मिला। उसमें मैंने थाईलैंड से सीखा, देन आपके अभी वियतनाम से सीखा, चाइना को बहुत क्लोज से मैं सारा सीखती समझती जा रही हूँ। तो मुझे लगा कि यार ये प्रॉस्पेरिटी क्यों है चाइना में, और ये इतने ज्यादा टैलेंटेड क्यों हैं, और हम कहाँ पीछे हैं। तो फिर उसके बाद मैंने ये एग्रीकल्चर पे बहुत ज्यादा रिसर्च किया। अब एक जो फिल्म है मेरे दिमाग में वो सब चीज क्लियर है कि मुझे क्या डिजाइन करना है लैंड को, मुझे कैसे डिजाइन करना है, और मुझे कैसे लो कॉस्ट में आगे बढ़ना है, ये पूरी पिक्चर मेरे पास है। तो वहां पर मैं एक सस्ती लैंड लेकर एक फॉरेस्ट डेवलप करना चाह रही हूँ, इस टाइप से मतलब डेवलप करना चाहती हूँ, जहाँ वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग वाला काम हो, जहाँ मेरे खुद के अपने सीड्स हो, जहाँ मैं इंटरक्रॉपिंग कर पाऊँ, जहाँ मैं एक एक इंच को यूज कर पाऊँ, और एक एक सनलाइट की रेस को मैं यूज कर पाऊँ, और सोलर एनर्जी पे मैं उसको मतलब यूज कर पाऊँ, और प्लांट्स मेरे मतलब लाइक बहुत हेल्दी हूँ, और टोटली मेरा वाला सॉइल कंजर्वेशन और इस सब पे मतलब लाइक वो हो। तो वो मेरे दिमाग में पिक्चर है, बट लैंड आ जाएगी तो मैं खुद अपनी लैंड को लैंडस्केपिंग करके मैं वो करना चाहती हूँ। तो उससे दो फायदे होंगे, एक फायदा होगा कि शायद सरकार समझे, एक कि उसको मॉडल के रूप में ले कि हम लोग जो रेंज से उल्टा सीधा हो रहा है या अलीनो फैक्ट्स वगैरह जो हो रहे हैं उससे हम कैसे बच सकते हैं। जापान से थोड़ा सा इंस्पिरेशन मियावाकी जो था उससे मैंने लिया, और उससे मतलब मैं वो करना चाह रही हूँ। और अभी मेरे को किसी लखनऊ में एक लैंड भी मिली है किसी पार्टी की, तो उन्होंने मुझे ऑफर भी दिया कि आप इसमें लैंडस्केपिंग करो, क्योंकि वो ट्रस्ट करते हैं। तो मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है कि यार मैं कोई लैंडस्केपिंग में डिजाइन में मैंने कोर्स नहीं किया है, बट मेरी को लोग समझ रहे हैं और मैं उस तरीके से आगे बढ़ रही हूँ। तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है जब क्या बोलते हैं लोग कहते हैं अरे मैम ये भी आप में एबिलिटी, ये क्यों नहीं किया, या ये एबिलिटी आपकी इससे पढ़ के हम खुश हो गए, या आपके इस बोलने से खुश हो गए। तो मुझे एक बहुत ज्यादा वो लगता है। तो फिलहाल मैं अभी लोगों को अवेयर कर रही हूँ आपके डाइट के लिए, फिटनेस के लिए, अच्छे हेल्थ उसके लिए। इसके लिए मैं रिसर्च पेपर पढ़ती हूँ और डेटाबेस से बात करती हूँ। ऐसा नहीं कि मैं
खाली होता है।
Excuse me, Vandana ji.
हाँ
Vandana ji, I'm really sorry. Actually,
टाइम का,
we have a very confined,
हाँ टाइम
time.
का स्लॉट ये 10, हाँ
No, but that story is actually very inspiring. And but definitely, like, you are the kind of women, friends, I would like to say that, I know we all have been conquering various storms and emerged as phoenixes, but it's just another story where we all can be queens and fix each other's crowns. And let's, like, move ahead and see what other, they're kind of sheroes who have, like, really emerged and taken up with full zest and enthusiasm. And thanks for demonstrating forbearance, all the friends. We can move forward. Thank you so much, Vandana ji. It was like
थैंक यू सो मच।
we were all really moved by the story. It was like very emotional, and thank you so much. So friends, let's start with the event. Like, uh, we will be moving on, we will be building on from exactly whatever we have learned from yesterday. So today's sessions will be for focusing on, for example, like, understanding and the essences of bioenzymes, and then the antimicrobial aspects of bioenzymes, and then the careful selections of the ingredients and herbs which we need for batching these and harvesting bioenzymes. I hope you all are all geared up. So before we begin the show, I'd just take this opportunity to introduce our president, Dr. Preeti Rao ji. And I'm always delighted to introduce her. She's a postgraduate in marketing from Bangalore University, and she's the founder and driving force behind the Soil and Soul Foundation and Bioenzymes Entrepreneurs Academy. And with more than 2 decades of work experience, she's a sustainability practitioner and a yoga teacher. She holds a black belt in karate and has won a national gold medal for flying and aero modeling. So behind that beautiful docile smile, we have a very tough lady, a real case of, what should I say, iron fist in velvet gloves maybe. So Preeti ji also loves traveling, reading, teaching, and connecting with people. So may I welcome Preeti ji to begin with her session, and I request all of you friends, and I want to encourage everyone to continue to participate actively and ask questions, share your insights, and let's begin the show. Without much further delay, thank you so much. Preeti ji.
Thank you, Vandanadi. It was really nice listening to you. And I know each one of us, we at BEA, we have a lot of women who are doing a lot of work with a very pure intent, intuitions of surviving or reviving this earth, whatever destructions are happening. So basically, we are into removing the waste from our body, from our surrounding, and from the entire universe. How do we make it purify? How do we purify things around us? Because unless we see the goodness around, we cannot spread the goodness. So the bioenzyme is about that, and I would like you to please attend our entire session. आप हमारा पूरा session attend कीजिए, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि हम लोग कितने हम लोग अभी शायद हम लोग we are very small in numbers, but we are, each one of us are doing incredible work in this line of reviving our resources, our soil, our water, and our air. So, I'm proud to say we have more of women here than men, and women, they are each one of us are incredible. We are going out of our own way and taking this trouble of doing something which is really close to our heart and close to, and it does matter to the next generation and to the coming generations. We have been doing some classes. Yesterday we did some class, and today again we have some more classes about how do we bring the products in the market which is eco-friendly, and how do we change that, and how so this is all about that. And we please join us and uh, just be with us. Okay, I think I will just a minute. I think I'm yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure the screen is visible. And today is the first, I can say, another step we've been doing. A lot of us have been doing, making enzymes, and it is 1, 3, 10. All of us know about that. But, we are somewhere lacking. How do we do the application? How do we use it at the most, optimized and in a highly effective way? And today, after so many years, I've been into this line since last 15 years. And after so many years of an effort, after getting learned a lot of things from Dr. Rosho Khan. In fact, before this program, I had 1 hour session again with Dr. Rosho Khan to make sure that I don't convey the wrong message to any of you. So it is definitely a first time for me to come out with this kind of workshop and bring it to the public. So if you have any doubt, you can definitely ask me. I'm here to answer. And in case I'm not able to answer certain questions, I will definitely get back to you after talking to Dr. Roshukon. So but I'm sure I have done my homework well, and I'm ready with all the content. So here today we are going to understand the enzyme. Today we have just been doing, and please be very attentive, because every activity, whatever enzyme does, we need to understand it very well before formulating any product. तो अगर आप इसको समझ जाओगे ना, bioenzyme, if you understand what bioenzyme is, you will not have the issue with the smell. You will not have issue with the ingredient. इससे बनाऊं, इससे नहीं बनाऊं, ये shall I do with this, or don't I do with this? So all that doubts will just get cleared. And I'm sure from next time we will not have these kind of discussion, and we talk much beyond 1, 3, 10. So just be attentive and understand everything. It is going to be a little, I can say, heavy subject, but try understanding. We have tried our level best to make it, it is for every person to understand it at their level. So understanding the properties of bioenzyme that need to be considered for formulating the product. So when I say formulating the product, I'm talking about formulating the commercial level product. I'm not talking what we are doing at home. I'm not talking how we are using soap nut or Rita and citrus enzyme. There are a lot beyond that. It is about the commercial product, when we have to capture the market, the huge market which has been flooded with a lot of harmful chemicals, and we know how it is spoiling our water system. And so this is I'm talking about the commercial level products. So what is bioenzyme? So if any of you can answer me, what have you understood till now? What bioenzyme is? Please unmute yourself and you can answer one by one quickly, 2 minutes. We will have this. Let it be a little interactive.
So fermentation of waste products,
Okay.
make natural cleaners.
Yes. Next. And I'm sure all the answers, whatever I will get, is all right. Every answer is right. There is no
मैं
wrong
हिंदी में
answer.
बोल सकती हूँ।
हाँ, please आप बोल सकते हो हिंदी में भी।
जितना मैं समझ रही हूँ, जो भी छिलके होते हैं फलों या सब्जियों के या कोई भी पत्ते, उनको अगर हम केमिकली उनका जो रिएक्शन होता है गुड़ के साथ और पानी के साथ मिलके, वो एक तरह के एंजाइम्स क्रिएट करते हैं और जो हमें उनका एक अलग रूप मिलता है और उसको हम बहुत तरह से काम में ले सकते हैं।
करेक्ट। सो ये आंसर भी करेक्ट है। And you will get booklet of all of these. These are all the booklet. It has been verified and endorsed by Dr. Osho Khan. So there is no wrong information even in the book.
કાનનું બંધ રાખજે અને રીટા ઓલી બીજી મગફળી છે ને
Can you please mute your mic?
કાલ ખવાઈ જશે.
Can someone mute?
બીજી મગફળી કાલ માટે મંગાવી છે વધારે.
It is disturbing everybody. I can't do it right now.
બાપા મૂકી દે કાલ માટે.
Okay. So what is bioenzyme? We all know. Can someone please mute your... Okay.
Can we all please mute ourselves?
Because these are very critical topics and I don't want anyone to miss out on any of the topics, any of the slide. Now, this is C6H12 and O6. This is nothing but the glucose. Glucose is nothing but what we add as a jaggery. And we have fruit peels and the water, H2O. Do we agree with this?
Yes.
1, 3, 10, do we agree with this? So this is what is there when we make our enzyme. So the glucose can be jaggery, can be sugar, can be honey, can be any fructose. Fructose is nothing but the glucose or the sweetness which is there in the fruit, like mangoes and bananas, you know, these kind of sweet fruit. So even that act as a glucose. So glucose, fruit, or any organic matter. When I say any organic matter, it means absolutely anything. I have seen enzymes out of cooked food. चावल दाल बचे हुए रहते हैं उसका भी बना है. Any kind of organic food, not organic, any kind of biodegradable item can be used as enzyme, as a raw material. So this is again how we select the raw material will be covered later part. But right now I'm just describing what is glucose, what is organic matter, and the water. And water also can be anything, whether it is distilled water, borewell water, hard water, cold water, soft water, salt water, any water. It just needs the water. H2O component has to be there in that. That's it. So it doesn't matter whether it is hard. Some minerals are more in hard, so it is hard. Some are missing, you know, soft water or what we use for drinking. It just doesn't matter. Water is just water. So here I'm clarifying 3 doubts. Glucose, organic matter, and the water quality. Any water, whether you use your rainwater, even the ocean water, the sea water can be used for this. So Subhitra, you have a lot of water there. Now, okay, so this is, okay. So what happens after 90 days? Now, when you mix all the 3, glucose, the fruit matter, or the, you know, food matter, I can say, or the water, it breaks it down. It breaks it down. This is CH3COOH. This is nothing but the acetic acid, which is the end product after 90 days what we get. And it is not just, and you will see it is derived from the same glucose and water molecule and the fruit molecules. In this, along with acetic acid, we do have water, we do have ozone, O3, which is getting released. We have some oxy molecules, carboxylic molecules. So these are the things, and there are balanced carbon and hydrogen molecules which is remaining after reaction, which gets it, and the fruit matter. You see, I have written glucose and water one below other for us to understand the, it is going with these two components. These are the thing which is forming, and balanced hydrogen and carbon molecule, the organic matter, it breaks it down in these 5 components. हम लोग खाते हैं ना, when we eat food, why we eat food? We get protein, we get fat, we get carbohydrate, we get vitamin, and we get different elements, the calcium, the magnesium, the, हमें जो जो जरूरत होती है वे सब कुछ मिलता है खाने से, right? So what is happening is it is breaking down the food matter into the simpler form. This simpler form are also there in enzyme. And ultimately, when you see the result, you get a lot of hormones. I mean, the dissection of enzyme has happened in China. I will show you those reports also. It has many different hormones. It has carbon, it has hydrogen, it has oxygen, it has nitrogen, it has sulfur. And you know what is the best thing about these 5 elements? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. If you see the antibiotics, whatever we take, penicillin or, kuch bhi antibiotics hota hai na. So if you see what is there in antibiotics, you will find these 5 elements in antibiotics. Antibiotics has different molecules of all of these, like, glucose, we have C6H12O6. Like that, in antibiotics, you will find some C7H424O12 and oxygen 11 and sulfur 7, something like that. It is available in different numbers in different antibiotics, but basically the antibiotics also has mix and match of these 5 elements. So these are the component of bioenzyme. So bioenzyme is this. It has acetic acid at the end, or COOH is the carboxylic, CO and oxy molecule and hydroxyl molecule, water and ozone.
प्रीति जी, एक क्वेश्चन, कि जो फ्रूट्स हैं तो जो हम अलग अलग चीजें लेते हैं, तो जैसे इसमें ये प्रोटीन, फैट्स, ये सब कुछ है, तो इसी की वैल्यू ऊपर नीचे होती है, मतलब कोई भी पील हम लेते हैं, या वो और भी कुछ डिफरेंस आता है इसमें?
It doesn't make any difference. Basically, the protein has 2 nitrogens and sulfur and hydrogen. And this protein again breaks it down into smaller amino acids. So all these questions they will ask at the end. We will let me finish this flow first. So and fat has again different molecules of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So I've just written CHO, but again there are so many types of fat, the triglycerides and diglycerides and all those are there. So it has a different number of components. That's it. But it has fats, it has protein, it has carbohydrates and vitamins and elements. Now, protein that is composed of amino acid, which has more complex structure and include the multiple atom of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes sulfur. So, the basic amino acid का जो formula है वो NH2CHRCOOH, and R is the side chain that can be, you know, the small, again, small element around that. It can be any element. So these are the things in bioenzyme. So this was difficult for me to get, but these are, you can see the list of hormones which have been discovered in enzyme. They are in very small quantity, but these are the hormones available in enzyme. And this test has happened in China. We are yet to do it in India, but this has been proven. So right now, until unless we do it in our country, you know, we will do it. We will do it. But these are the, you can imagine the kind of things, the kind of complexity we are dealing with. जब हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि ये water pollution साफ ठीक कर रहा है, it is clearing our air pollution, it is cleaning our river, it is cleaning our home, it is cleaning our body, our own system. But what is there in that to do so many multiple activities? So these are the hormones. There are so many hormones here. You can see and that is why it is a little complex system. So, now these are the principle of dilution. So, you know, bioenzyme works with dilution, and this is again being proven. You know, we have lot of, we have read about it, you know, the way, 1 minute, I think, Dr. So, it works on the principle of dilution, but what is the dilution? Dilution, मतलब ये खाली dilute करने का नहीं है. It has, the dilution is used in different fields. It is used in chemistry, it is used in homeopathy, it is used in environmental science and in finance also. And it has a different meaning in every sector. Now, we will not touch all the sectors where the dilution is working, but we will speak what matters to us right now. So dilution in chemistry, when we say, you know, the process where one portion of liquid is after dilution also, it is the component is same even after dilution. So, you know, whether C1 and V1 is a concentration of volume of initial solution, and it becomes the same when the whole thing get multiplied, and it is, you know, both are same type. So, so this is usually this concentration for the safer and more effective way. So, you know, कभी भी हम लोग किसी डॉक्टर के पास भी जाएंगे ना, I mean, if you know about this homeopathy thing, they will not give you the strong medicine in first hand. They will try out couple of diluted ones, and you know what affects you, what your body can take it, how it works. So this is what it does. So so whatever we have seen, you know, like 10,000 times or 1,000 times or 5,000 times. So it depends on what we are working on, what we are focusing on, what is the problem we are going to solve. So that is where the dilution matters. Until unless we have optimized formula for the enzyme, we cannot achieve the proper dilution for it to be effective. And in environment, you know, when it dilutes, environmental condition, the dilution, it means, you know, when you dilute it, that means you're reducing it. So how we reduce the things and all that. So that is what the dilution principle is all about. So don't worry, all these data will be given to you in the book. Okay, now this is the magic of dilution, I can say. Now, see the enzyme, the way it is working. Now there are two samples. Again, this is the thing, the test which is showing, you know, it is a 30-year-old enzyme. So one bottle, it is showing this carbon, oxygen, you know, sodium, magnesium, silicon, sulfur, chlorine, potassium, and calcium, right? And when you dilute it more, it is, you can see the more of oxygen, more of carbon, you know, how things are changing here. These are all two different dilutes. Oh, sorry. So these are two different liquid with two different dilution. So what I'm trying to say, scientifically, when we dilute it according to whatever we have read, it will work that way. But we need to learn how to do that dilution. Now, these, what I'm showing, the 30-year-old fermentation, this, we have the liquid, and this is something that Red Cap, few of you have seen it also. We can drink it as well, and it works magical for our body. So these are all consumable. And see in the sample down one, no, the sample one, sodium is missing, the magnesium is missing, silicon is missing. It is not that diluted. The same liquid, when we dilute it more, it is showing the presence of all these elements. So, you know, when we, it's basically saying, what application are we using it for? So I've been asking a lot of people who want enzyme, you know, what is that you're looking for? What is that you want for? Because unless I know the requirement, I cannot solve. And the moment we say, give the enzyme without knowing what is it's going to be used for, it may not be so effective. We want, all of us, we want it to be effective. We want our products to be beautiful and user-friendly, have good and touch and feel kind of, you know, we should have that kind of feeling when we do it. So this is very important to understand what is required in what and how much. So how much is more? So enzyme, here I would like to say, welcome to the world where less is more. You know, you use less of enzyme and you get more effective it is, and it has been proven. Now, this is very common. All of us have seen these kind of thing, how enzyme can be different for different usage. You know, how the concentrated enzyme, we can use it for washing machine, for a toilet bowl, for, you know, garden, how do we take, leather sofa, how much do we use? So how much of what we use, you know, and we just have to dilute in a liter of water, whatever you see, 100 cc or 50 cc, again, you dilute in a liter of water and then use that. This is based on, and you know, it's always, we keep telling people, keep it overnight, keep it overnight. When we keep it overnight, these molecules, the elements are more spread, and it becomes really active for it to perform well. So these are like, you know, how often you can clean anything. You see all of these, anything. When we talk about the germs, we don't have to kill the germs. बोलते हैं ना, germs अच्छे हैं तो अच्छे को अच्छा रहने दो germs को. We don't have any right to kill them. We can always manage how to deal with them, not to kill them. So we need to change the way we are looking at things. You know, we human, like, if we don't like anything, we just want to remove them from our way. उसको यहाँ से निकाल दिया. Who is this? Can someone mute them? So these are the dilution thing, what we need to look. See, it can clean anything, whether it's your home, it's your water body, it's your air pollution. We have done trial everywhere, whether it's your dirty sink or the blocked sink or the blocked toilet or anything. It just unclogs everything. It's only that we need to start using it at a very, in a way it has to be used. So we just have to dilute it, and there are again the principle of dilution. So you have to follow that. Probably, you know, if you you can read it further, you will find it on net about this principle of dilution. You can start to checking it how it has to be done. Okay, now this is a very important test. As you know, this is some language which you can't see, you can't read, but what it is showing, the presence of ozone. Now, ozone is also considered as a pollutant. If it is more, the quantity, here you see it is very less than 0.01 mg per m square, and this is very less. So the ozone at this level, at this quantity, it is very good for us because it is making, it is converting our surrounding as a cooler, as a oxygen. We get, this is also be proven whether your enzyme drum, whether it is closed or it is open, it is emitting ozone or oxygen continuously. It is there. So there is in that book, we have written how ozone can be helpful for us. It may not be, how we can utilize this. And this is the one which creates the cooler environment around us. We have seen the place where drums are kept. There is no signal coming to that home. We have seen the temperature of that place is cooler than outside. Where you put the so this has also been proven that ozone is there in our enzyme. But what happens after 90 days? So whatever you see on the left side, the bioenzyme, this is what we have seen it till today. Many of us also get the Scooby in our enzyme, right? So how do we get this? So this is completely, it comes with the environment. If it is very, 1 minute. Yes, doctor. So our next speaker is having challenges with joining in the thing, Zoom. Okay, sorry. So this is the Scooby. So this is nothing but the bacterial culture. So you know what happens when we all discuss the enzyme se badbu aata hai, it gives a bad smell. How do we change the smell? So there are many ways of handling it. So one of the way is to have aged enzymes. I have seen even, the enzyme when we, after filtering, after 90 days, let us filter it out. And even if it is smelling bad, you just leave it. I have seen the smell changing. I have seen from the rotten, dirty smell, changing it to fragrant enzyme, whatever is being used. So there is a flower, it's called chrysanthemum kind. It's a smaller one. In Bangalore, we get the smaller variety, not the bigger one. It is not that good fragrant one what we get in market. So I had made with that flower, and it was really bad. I mean, but it has taken 90 days, so I didn't feel like throwing it. So I just packed it in the bottle and I kept it aside. And it took me almost 1.5 years after that to get that mild fragrance of that flower. And it was just beautiful. So it is, when that is what I've been telling, if we have to make our products, we need to use the aged enzyme. Make sure and not to be in hurry to definitely get after 90 days, just check the time and it is done. It's not like that. You make it and you leave it. And when you get this SCOBY or the bacterial culture, you store it in the water, and that water is the mother culture. You have to leave it for a month, and that water is the mother culture. And that mother culture, they're very powerful. It has, people who have broken the hand, fractured hand and all that. This bacterial culture, if you put it on that broken hand, it has been seen that fractured hand also got healed. It is that powerful. And it is nothing. We're just using from our kitchen waste. We have not done anything. It's all done from the kitchen waste. So, this from here to here, until unless we have the proper patience and see the changes, transformation, or even from here, when you, after filtering, if you leave your enzymes for some more time, the smell, it is completely neutralized. There is no smell at all. Because the microbes has been stabilized. The microbes are stabilized there. It just doesn't change the thing. And then if you then you will not have problem with essential oil or ye dalna hai, wo dalna hai. I mean, even I have gone through a lot of these kind of experiment, adding this gum, that gum, and making it little thick, putting some this one, using the salt and using the essential oil. So a lot of experiment has gone, but it is, those experiments are good, I think, only for home. And it is proven only for some time. It cannot be, I mean, if you want to do it for larger scale, it is definitely, it is not happening. So, initially to set up the unit, we need to have this kind of patience. But once you have your product, once you have your good enzymes done, it is there with you forever. So, have you heard of this Masahiro Emoto, a scientist from Japan? He talks about, the kind of vibe we give it to the water. If we say there's a good water and there's a bad water and there's a neutral water, when you say a good word to the water, good word could be anything. Okay, I love you, that water, to the bottle of water. And the bottle of water, if you say, I hate you, I don't like you, and you drink the water of both the glasses, you will know the energy. The bad water, they have also seen, they have done this microscopic learning of this water, which it has shown the different structure, the disrupted structure in the bottle, what we have said, I hate you. And it's called water has memory. If any of you want to see this, you will find a lot of videos about this. Water has memory. And you will find there's a good water and the bad water structure. You will find it, how different it is. It's just the word. So now, you know what, I have actually, whatever enzyme I make, I can't show, it is not showing here. Okay, I have written good enzyme on top, and then I write whatever the content is. So I want to give a good vibe to those enzymes. It is just the following the method what Masahiro Emoto has been talking, and nothing else. Okay, what is the purpose of enzyme? Why are we making enzyme? What are we doing with this enzyme? Again, if we understand each of these, I'm telling you, you will solve a lot of your problems. I have written some blog also on this. What is the purpose of bioenzyme? It multiplies faster than we know. It disintegrates pollutant, inorganic or organic, in a simpler form, and it is easy to decompose in the nature. So, carboxylic and oxy molecule makes it happen. Because of this carboxylic and oxy molecule that we saw in previous slide, which is present in our enzyme, it disintegrate any of those matter, any of those pollutant, heavy metal, whether it is, see the heavy metal, whether it is present in air or it is present in soil or, it's just take it as an example, like gold. If the gold is in the air, it is gold. If the gold is in the water, it is gold. If the gold is in the soil, it is gold. And to melt that gold, we don't use multiple things. There could be just one method. So it is the same thing with the polluted, whatever the chromium, cadmium, lead, arsenic, if it is there in our ecosystem, these enzymes can break it down, provided we give the proper enzyme to deal with it. So that, what is that proper enzyme? What is that ideal enzyme? That each one of us have to do homework. And this is again, it's like, you have seen our own Ayurveda. We have so many plants. There's so many, we have, herbs in our country. So until unless we understand what we are doing, and actually we can't learn everything in one life, but I feel whatever the problem we are going to face, we look into the challenges, what are we facing, and then do the reverse calculation. Okay, I have identified this plant. So let me do this with this, let me do this with this, and let me see if I can solve the soil pollution or water pollution or bonding of the soil stabilization, or for road making, or for plastic decomposition. So we need to do our own homework for doing all this thing. The closer container or open container, it is continuously releasing ozone, that I have already said. Older enzyme, better the performance. Aged enzyme is always good. Bioenzyme has a function of catalysis. Catalysis is accelerating the process. It decomposes the matter, organic or inorganic matter. It transforms it. It transforms it in the simpler form which nature can digest. And then whatever is lost, it recombines in the original form. And whatever is lost in our ecology, these microbes replenish that back in the original form. So when we do the lake restoration kind of project, we don't just address the quality of water. We are addressing developing the ecology of lake. If we develop lake ecology, the lake is sustainable on itself. Lake doesn't need our interference by us again and again and again. And today in India, you can imagine we have more than 400 rivers. Every river, every city has this kind of problem. And in our whole life, I don't think we can complete the entire project. So, like what I'm trying to say, we don't have to hold on to the work. एक बार किया, आज हमने lake कर लिया, one lake we have done today. Next day, go to the another lake. Third day, go to another lake. So we can do it as simple as that, provided you have the effective and the quality enzyme with you. The work can be this fast. And we don't have to hold on. Acha, first wala, what happened to the first lake I did? We don't have to go back. I have seen the changes. I have seen the way, because we have developed the lake ecology. The lake is taking care by itself. We don't have to go and keep, interfering again and again. Now, what is this ideal enzyme? Yes, what is ideal enzyme? So ideal enzyme has, which is fermented for more than 10 years. And it neutralizes the chemicals, the toxin, the pathogen, the fat, or the sugar, or the glucose in our food. So lab has proven that we should have these 7 enzymes in our enzyme. When we have these 7 enzymes in our enzyme is the perfect enzyme. So this, again, this parameter, we are talking to a lot of institute, the research work, and the optimization of the standardization of enzyme, which has to be, which will be done. But we have the papers for all of these, not from India, of course. So we have to see how do we get all this. So you can see here, there are 7 enzymes. Amylase, it helps in digesting the starch and the sugar. Cellulase, that breaks down the fiber, whether it's in the fruit or the vegetables. Invertase helps in digesting the sugar in our bloodstream. Beta-glucanase helps to promote the appetite. Xylanase, it digests the oil. If we have the cholesterol kind of thing, have fatty acids and all that. The phytase helps in digesting food poisoning. Protease helps in protein digestion. So these are the ideal enzyme. Unless we have these enzymes in our enzymes are not perfect. Now, this is again, okay, this is quickly, I would like to say the potency of our resources in India. Now, this is something new, which I learned it from Dr. She was talking. So, okay, now we have, forget about this formula. This is just the picture, but I would like to say any of our resource, whether it's a plant or the fruit or the animals or the insect, anything, whatever we have in our country, if it is, it has a very strong bond. So everything has hydrocarbons, that is carbon and hydrogen bond. So these hydrogen and carbon bonds are stronger in Indian resource. Sometime, not sometime, most of the time, people, especially who are joined us from different country, they would realize, that whenever they come to our country, they say, अरे यहाँ की तो भिंडी भी अच्छी है, यहाँ का बैंगन भी अच्छा है, यहाँ का fruit is very good, यहाँ का, the taste is different, what you don't get in the other countries, whatever we eat. So this is because the bonding of these hydrocarbon, the bonding between carbon and hydrogen is very strong of all the vegetation we have it in our country. And how do we know this? Because of essential oil. Whatever we draw, the essential oils are very different in our country than any other country. The smell, the performance, everything is very different. The medicinal values. And that is why the Indian herbs, the Ayurveda, the, Indian fruits, everything is so different. And, we are actually sitting on a gold mine, all of us. Imagine if we start making good enzyme with such a beautiful, such a nice resource, it is possible. So, so a lot of these kind of thing, I'm talking about this, you see the potency. I mean, this is just an example like tulsi, turmeric, sandalwood, neem. These are all the treasure what our country has got. And like this, we have numbers of plants which are of very high potency. So if we have to extract the potency and use it, so when you see in the previous slide, I said the enzyme multiplies than we ever know, multiple times. So imagine if the neem tree or a neem leaf, one neem leaf, if it has, if it is, I mean, I don't know how do we say the potency, but just give it as a number. If it is 10, if we call it as 10, the enzyme can make it as 500 times. The potency can grow in that manner. So वो एक पत्ते का नीम का जो फायदा है, with this, if we make enzyme from that one leaf, the benefit, it multiplies for the 500 times. So these are just the normal, I'm given the example like ashwagandha, sandalwood. So, and all these things are for, medicinal, cosmetic, agriculture, aromatic therapy. We can use it for multiple things. So that is where the Indian resources are important. And how does enzyme capture the essence of all these herbs? It is just that fermentation process, when it breaks it down in the simpler form, you get that essence of all of these, whether it's a fruit or the herb. And they are, whether it's like an antioxidant, antimicrobial, and how does it really, how it is being extracted by the enzyme. It's all because we are making it in this, you take any herb, say rosemary or tea tree, या पुदीना ही ले लीजिए, वो पत्ते को when we mash it, no, it smells strong, right? Stronger than just the leaf or just the small piece, whatever. So it is that the enzyme is breaking them in a very, 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 very smaller form and taking the essence of that. So these are, see, these result as a very good, I mean, all these herbs, no, that we can put it with for making our products. How do we make use of these kind of things in our products? So we will have multiple of these things. See now the benefits of, what is it? Benefits of using herbs in our bioenzyme. It has multiple benefits. It has a lot of herbs which are antibacterial, antifungal, like, neem and tulsi. Antiviral herbs we have eucalyptus and lavender. The natural fragrance, we have a lot of fragrance herbs. Lemongrass, lavender, mint, rosemary. Insect repellent, lemongrass is there. And, all the antioxidant is like sage and rosemary. Soothing and healing, aloe vera, lavender. So what now, the property what I'm talking, antibacterial or soothing or antiviral. So we need to identify what are we looking into our product? What kind of quality are we looking into our product? What herb do we use for our product? Purpose of enzyme, as I said, it breaks down the inorganic and organic pollutant in a simpler form. And this process, when it breaks it down, it brings down the temperature also. It becomes cooler. So the applications, mainly when we say about the product, what we are talking about, the household cleaning, personal care, pet care, gardening, or odor control. Okay, now this is a very simple thing. Pardon? Okay, so this is a very simple example, which again, it has helped me to find out when we are talking about the oxygen molecules in our enzyme. See, now today, I'll just give a very simple example. I don't know if you have read a couple of days back, they came up with the news saying they have found a bacteria in a rock which can eat methane, which can, break down the methane. It is the bacteria they found in the stone. And these kind of mining kind of news is very common. आज इंडिया में उस जगह पे lithium का मिला mine. Somewhere they got some mine. And the moment we say there's a mine, people, they just barged in to pull it out, everything from where it is there. So, like this, with our small activities, we have disintegrated everything. So the first picture is talking about the disintegration of or deposition of our microbes or our elements, or, where it is supposed to be, it is not there. It has all been scattered, and that is why we are facing so much of ecological issues. And fixing each microbe is definitely a challenge. You cannot say, okay, this is like a jigsaw. So it is definitely difficult. So the moment we put enzyme into this, enzyme breaks it down. And what you see, it is slowly bringing the elements, like elements together. That is happening in 2 and 3. It just comes together and then they go to the respective places. It is replenishing. It is recombining the whole thing. What I spoke about, principle of enzyme. It is recombining. It is bringing back to that. And when we talk about this lake ecology, this is what lake ecology or air pollution or soil pollution, whatever is lost, it is fixed in the way it is supposed to be. So that is the power of enzyme. And that power, we need to use it to take it to the larger people by flooding our market with bioenzyme based product. अभी मैं वंदना जी से भी पूछूंगी कि अगर आपको bioenzyme product चाहिए तो कहाँ जाओगे, तो she will not know because it is not available in the market. But we need to flood the market with these kind of products so that it goes to every home. When we're talking about Har Ghar bioenzyme, so much of work is required collaboratively. Every region should have so many different brands has to be there in the market. So many different kinds of options we should give. किसी के फ्लो क्लीनर में लेमन ग्रास है, किसी के फ्लो क्लीनर में रोजमेरी है, but that is okay. That variety we need to give, and that creativity can come from every individual here. You know, so that is what we are looking at. This is what the oxygen in the enzyme is doing to our ecosystem, which I've given it as a fourth slide to understand easily. There's a power of aerobic. Okay, now this is another interesting case studies. This is again Japan, it has happened. This is in Fukushima. There was a nuclear disaster when the earthquake had happened some time back. And the entire city, the roads, the street pillars, the street lights, the wall, everything what you see on the road, the entire city was cleaned by these fermented liquid because none of the chemicals were effective. Now, I'm talking so confidently. We read about it long back. And you know, these enzymes were so helpful even in disintegrating the nuclear disaster or nuclear molecule. Now, I was reading about it yesterday and I came across recently someone has done some work also in this. That also is there in the book. So it has been proven that bioremediation can take care of nuclear disasters. तो हमारे अगर देश में कभी न्यूक्लियर डिजास्टर हुआ ना, तो वी नीड सो मच ऑफ एंजाइम डियर. उतना गैलन्स, उतना नदी भर के एंजाइम कहाँ से आएगा? So we need so much. And what are the parameters we need? So we will have Dr. Arun is also with us now. So we need to check our enzyme dilution. We need to check the pH of our enzyme. We need to see the age of our enzyme, the biocatalytic, antibacterial or antifungal effective, how effective it is, anti-radiation. So I'm going to talk about this, what we saw in Japan, what has happened, handling those nuclear disaster. That is because of anti-radiation property of this enzyme. And you know, today, this what I'm wearing today is a small locket. It has an enzyme here. I carry it because I can't handle this mobile in my hand forever. I have enzyme everywhere. On my table, I have enzyme, bottles of enzyme. Because it takes care of the radiation. I can't show, see. I will show, maybe tomorrow I can show it in a better way. So my table is full of enzymes. I carry this enzyme with me. And there are 7 enzymes, what I've mentioned in the previous slide. So these are the parameters, what we need to be careful. Now, here I end my session and Dr. Arun is here. It's already 7:30 and Jayashree is all up to you and I will close my screen now.
Thank you so much, Preeti ji. Thank you so much. It was such an engrossing session. I couldn't myself take care of the time. I was just, busy taking care of every single detail. I hope everybody understood and there was no language issues. For people, I would just, briefly give you the key points, the takeaways, and in Hindi and English because the entire presentation was in English. So I hope I'll just speak out few key points more of in Hindi so that, Hindi भाषी जो है उनको जल्दी समझ में आए. बाकी कोई doubts है तो the forum will be open for queries now. So enzymes का basic सारा प्रीति जी ने जो बताया है कि कैसे importantly उसमें क्या होता है, ग्लूकोज होता है, any form of glucose, फिर प्रोटीन्स होते हैं, कोई भी फॉर्म, जो ग्लूकोज है फ्रूट्स का जो ऑर्गेनिक मैटर है और वो पूरा ब्रेक डाउन हो जाता है. तो ग्लूकोज का जो डाइसेक्शन अपने करते हैं तो उसमें बहुत सारे हॉर्मोन्स, जो प्रीति जी बता रही थी कि कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन, सल्फर, ये सब होते हैं। और जो चाइना में टेस्ट कंडक्ट किया गया था उसमें बहुत सारे एंजाइम्स पाए गए थे। तो प्रीति जी अभी बता रही थी कि आइडियल एंजाइम में, एक आइडियल एंजाइम वो होता है जिसमें 7 तरह के एंजाइम्स उन्होंने लिस्ट किया था, जैसे कि एमाइलेज, सेल्यूलेज, इन्वर्टेज, बीटा ग्लूकमेज, जाइलेज, फाइटेज एंड प्रोटीज। कि ये एंजाइम्स अगर हो अपने एंजाइम में तो एक आइडियल एंजाइम कहलाया जाता है। और एंजाइम्स बहुत ज्यादा वर्क करते हैं थियरी ऑफ डाइल्यूशन पे, जैसे कि हम होम्योपैथी मेडिसिन लेते हैं जिसमें देखते हैं कि डाइल्यूशन यानी उसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन और कॉम्पोजिशन बदल सकता है, लेकिन कंटेंट जो होता है वो, कंपोनेंट जो होता है वो मेजरली सेम कंपोनेंट का होता है। और कीपिंग ओवरनाइट एंजाइम्स को हम जब भी यूज करते हैं, रिकमेंडेड ये होता है कि एंजाइम्स को ओवरनाइट रखा जाए, ताकि क्योंकि वो फ्लरिश बहुत ज्यादा करते हैं और वो बैड बैक्टीरिया को हटा के गुड बैक्टीरिया, एक एरोबिक कल्चर, जैसे हमने कुछ रिपोर्ट्स प्रीति जी दिखा रही थी जिसमें ये भी दिखाया गया था कि ऑक्सीजन लेवल डाइल्यूशंस पे कैसे बढ़ जाता है। और ओजोन की क्वांटिटी पे भी बोला गया है कि अगर डिजायरेबल क्वांटिटी में ओजोन की क्वांटिटी हो एंजाइम्स में तो वो कैसे बेहतर काम करता है। और मदर कल्चर के बारे में, जो स्कूबी फॉर्म होती है, अगर इफ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव बीन हार्वेस्टिंग एंजाइम्स फॉर पास्ट 2-3 years, आप लोगों को पता होता होगा कि एक स्कूबी लेयर फॉर्म हो जाता है, एक थिक लेयर। उसको पानी में डालने से कैसे वो मदर कल्चर बन जाता है और बोन फ्रैक्चर तक की चीजों को भी वो रिपेयर कर सकता है। और जैसे कल के सेशन में हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि बहुत जन को प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था रोटन स्मेल एमिटिंग फ्रॉम द एंजाइम, so that also can be taken care if the enzymes are aged, यानी अगर एंजाइम्स को हम बहुत साल तक रखते हैं, 5, 7, 10 साल तक एंजाइम्स अगर रहते हैं तो धीरे धीरे एक माइक्रोबियल स्टेबिलिटी आ जाती है, जिसकी वजह से एंजाइम से वो जो रोटन स्मेल है वो फ्रेग्रेंट स्मेल में बन जाता है। और एनर्जी और वाइब्स की बात कर रही थी, जो बहुत अच्छा एक पॉइंट है जो मैं भी फर्मली बिलीव करती हूँ। जैसे प्रीति जी बोल रही थी कि गुड एंजाइम कैसे वो लिख के रखती हैं, so I also firmly believe in it that the more you communicate with your enzymes, talk to them, they are like friendly enzymes, talk to them and they'll do wonders to you. So the forum is open for queries, any queries. I guess Shruti is raising hand. Yes, Shruti ji.
Namaste. My question is about ideal enzymes. Ma'am mentioned that if we age them enough, all 7 enzymes will be present in it. Can we also mimic this by adding different base materials?
Yeah, it does. It does matter on the ingredient what you're using, because there are, yeah, so it all depends on the raw material, and that is why we need to understand selecting the raw material is so important for making our enzyme.
Ma'am, a small follow-up on this. So, for example, what kind of enzyme is, for example, citrus bioenzyme rich in?
Yeah.
Like of the 7 enzymes, if we, for example, take citrus bioenzyme, it will be rich in only one of those particular enzymes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So when we, that is why we need to understand what are we going to use it for. You know, a lot of people, when they ask me, you know, they want 2 liters or 3 liters of enzyme, you know, then I need to find out what are they using it for, what do they need it for, and based on that we give.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so basically, see now, again, here depends, again, for the market ready product. So every product, you know, how we want our product to be. Suppose for me, if I'm taking care of the river, so river has its own complex problem. So to handle the complex problem, I need to have my enzyme with multiple things. I cannot have a monoculture enzyme for that, because these enzyme, the monoculture enzyme can handle only one kind of impurity. But if I'm handling multiple types of impurity, I need to have multiple enzyme. And to be on safer side, I would, for any kind of thing, you know, when we have this culture, ideally this 7 enzyme has to be there, and that works perfectly fine for anything. So, you know, monoculture, I usually don't make. If I have to make, I always make the mixed fruit, which has all, so that, I get all the all the enzyme in that. So the
Thank you so
multiculture is always the good one for, again, if I want to use for cosmetic, I may not like to use the multiculture one. I would like to go for some specific one, the aloe vera or turmeric or, neem, whatever the application is based on that, I would like to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, Preeti ji, Vardhini ji has a query. She says that she has a well by her home, at the backside, and there's generally no groundwater as such. But when it rains, so then there is some water. So she's inquiring if she can add enzymes during that time, and if yes, in what quantities and in how, how frequently, and is it even edible? That's what her query is.
Yeah,
Can
so
she
it is
consume that water?
edible. It is absolutely safe. We have seen Swati's dog also eating it, and we also drink. So it's my bottle of water always has an enzyme into it. So, like this bottle, I always keep an enzyme. So I drink. So it is not poisonous at all. It's just a form of vinegar. And as I said, it breaks down. It breaks down. Please go back to whatever the class we have taken. It breaks down the matter into a simpler form. So it is definitely safe, and it doesn't.
How much to be added, Ji?
So, that again depends again what is the water quality is there in that. I wouldn't recommend like this unless I know what is the water quality I have there. So water testing and all that is required, but the small amount, it definitely doesn't harm the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
And
much.
Sukriti is asking which enzymes are better for cleansing the water?
Cleansing the water. Yeah. So the cleansing water is again, I usually do the testing of water and I see what is the quality of water we have and what are we treating it for. So if it has sewage flowing into the water, definitely it needs a multiculture enzyme. It can't be a monoculture. So what kind of water, whether it's a small water body, it is a swimming pool, or it is a well, it is a drainage. So it all depends on that. So a lot of initial testing, that is why it is required. We just cannot decide whether we are cleaning the STP or we are cleaning the ETP, we are cleaning the lake, or we are cleaning the lake which has a continuous flow of sewage water. We are cleaning the drainage, we are cleaning the well, we are cleaning the swimming pool or the river. So it all depends on that. But ideally, 7 enzyme, if it is present, it is the best. It will work either way. And again,
what about drinking water?
Huh?
What about drinking water, ma'am?
Drinking water also we can use it, but yeah, as I said, we need to follow the principle of dilution. We need to dilute it to that level and do it. Yeah. लेकिन घर में भी अगर हमने if we make it in a very conducive environment, it is not harmful.
Absolutely.
तो उसके लिए कौन सा बायोएंजाइम बेटर रहेगा?
See, finally, at the end of it, the bioenzyme has all those 5 things, no? As I said, it has protein, it has vitamins, it has fats, it has mineral elements. So it just doesn't matter.
Thank you.
As far as if we make it neatly in a neat bottle and all that, it is good.
So Preeti ji, there's someone, I don't know the name exactly, Zoops, and they are asking how to ensure that all the 7 types of enzymes are present in the bioenzymes.
Yeah, so Zuben, this is a very good question, and frankly speaking, we haven't been able to do all kind of tests in India, and we will be doing soon. We have Dr. Arun with us today, so he will help us in standardizing all of these. It will take some time, but yeah, these are based on the papers what we have from outside India.
There's one Zoom user who is interested to know about the mother culture, the making and the usage of mother culture in bulk production.
Yeah, so we will talk about this mother culture in our coming sessions.
And Binodji say asking if we can mix different monoculture bioenzymes to make multi-mixed enzymes.
Yes, perfectly fine.
So fine,
Ma'am,
then I guess we can, yeah.
मेरा भी एक क्वेश्चन
Anyone?
था
Yes, yes, Vandana ji, please.
मैम। ये एग्रीकल्चर में अपन जो फर्टिलाइजर यूज करते हैं उसके एवज में इसको यूज कर सकते हैं क्या?
जी, हम लोग कर रहे हैं। हमारे साथ हजारों हजारों फार्मर्स जुड़े हुए हैं और हमारा मेन रिसर्च होलकर साइंस कॉलेज में ही हो रहा है एग्रीकल्चर को लेके। और इसको काफी किसानों ने अपनाया है और काफी अच्छे लेवल पे काम चल रहा है इस पे।
मैम फिर सारे इंसेक्टिसाइड्स वगैरह सब मर जाते
बिल्कुल, किसी की जरूरत ही नहीं है।
अच्छा, मतलब लाइक फिर तो इंसेक्टिसाइड इंडस्ट्री खत्म।
बिल्कुल।
क्योंकि फर्टिलाइजर यूरिया वगैरह जो नाटक हो रहा है,
हाँ,
मतलब लाइक ऑर्गेनिक पे सब चल जाए लाइक चाइना, तो फिर तो
हाँ,
मजे ही मजे।
right. And we are on the way to stabilize this bioenzyme industry. We are all part of it.
Okay.
तो जल्दी ही हर चीज को हम रिप्लेस करेंगे क्योंकि
That's good.
this agriculture is area where we lot of pollution is happening either to the soil or the water, groundwater is depleting. So we have seen the effect at a very large scale, and this was our priority, and we are using it. In fact, our first training module, we have done it for agriculture only. This is the second training module on the product development for the urban crowd. So हमारा पहला कोर्स जो था वो किसानों के लिए ही था, and it was really actually everybody liked it and they have implemented, and I can say today the lot of farmers, they are so happy with the result, and they have got their and we have few who have joined us also today for this product program also. Somebody from Nepal, somebody from Gujarat who are doing actually farming and using these enzymes.
तो मैम ये जो है वो लार्ज स्केल पे इसका प्रोडक्शन होना चाहिए।
जी है, जी हो
क्योंकि
रहा है।
क्योंकि हर किसान तो बना नहीं पाएगा ना इसको, मतलब है मुझे इजी लगा प्रोसेस तो बनाने में, मैं खुद घर पे ट्राई करूंगी, बट और मेरा फर्स्ट टाइम ये है। बट अगर अगर हम लार्जर स्केल पे इसको दें और इसको पब्लिकली उसको लार्ज प्लेटफॉर्म पे लेके आए, तो नो डाउट मतलब लाइक, तो इस टाइप से कुछ है अपने योजना में?
बिल्कुल हमारा है, हमारा बैंक भी है, एंड लॉट ऑफ अस whoever is here today, they are making a large scale for different purpose. Somebody wants to revive the water, restore the water, somebody is for commercial, somebody is for the farming. So we are making it the large scale. Lot of us are making, and it is available. And yesterday, in fact, we had a session on bulk production also. So we have a visitor here, I think Sumitra also wants to talk. So she is going to establish in Dubai the large scale of bioenzyme. Yes, Sumitra, you had some doubt?
Yeah, Preeti, your presentation blew my mind actually, and I don't know what questions to ask you. I have a lot of questions. Hope to catch up with you. And I'm in Bangalore. But few things. So when you said upon dilution, I saw that table, some of the elements became available after dilution, which were not there in the concentrated form. So is that understanding correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So then we need to sort of deep dive into what dilutions are then, right? Because we've just
So
seen
that dilution
random
principle we need to understand. It is a very long and good theory to read and replenish our own knowledge about it. So that we have to do our homework in this.
Okay, so that means we need to dilute, do a testing for the, like how we do for the soil, like soil testing, we need to understand what the minerals are.
So everything depends on the testing.
evaluate.
If we are working on soil, let us have the soil report first. If we are working on water, let us have the water report first, because we need to know what problem are we facing, what are we going to handle, and after using it, how are we seeing the changes? What are we looking at?
Right.
So,
Okay.
in fact, we are working here with few STPs, and the result what we got just 2 days back, it is after 8 months of continuous trial, and we are doing the test every month. the result blew everybody's mind. It was that good. You know, the BOD from 194, it has come down to 4. Nowhere it has come down. Nowhere in India they can show me like this result. And it is nothing but just the enzyme.
That's awesome. Actually, on that note, we did a trial over here in a men's toilet to check the bacteria, the bad bacteria in the urinal. We sort of picked it. We did the bacterial count, and we did the toilet cleaner, and we didn't even leave it. We didn't even leave the enzyme long enough to clean, I would say. But before, the bacterial count was around 1,000, and then after the enzyme, it came down to 60 in just 1 second. We just
Yeah,
cleaned.
you just
That
have to
was really
spray.
cool.
So, I always carry this spray with me. Show this.
You just
So this
clear the
spray, I
air
just
when you
spray
go.
everywhere, and it's done. So I know I'm going to even in the public toilet, or when you're traveling, you're safe. So it's
Right.
just a spray, it works, yeah.
I have another question, and I believe I'm a bit confused about this, about the bioenzyme producing ozone. You said, even though we have a plastic sheet, whatever, it still comes into the environment where the bioenzyme production is going on.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that a certain level of ozone needs to be maintained in a space, right? If it's higher, then it is harmful for us. So isn't that ironic?
It is not producing higher. We have done the testing, has happened. It is producing only that much.
Okay, so if there is bulk production, it's still okay in a factory?
It is absolutely fine. It is absolutely fine, yeah. So, so bulk production, what happens usually, if I can show you. No, it's not in this. Okay. I will have to remove my back screen.
And the blurred background, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, see, this is the bottle. I don't know if it is clear here. You can see some droplets on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are considered as oxygen, and if you open also, you will find it on the cap here.
Yes.
So these are all the oxy molecules and all that. So it doesn't, it's there, that's it. And the exchanges through the environment is ionic. They call it as ionic exchange. So it doesn't exchange like the way the smell spreads, but it as an ion, it exchanges with the environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry, the last question. You said you keep a bottle of enzyme on your table or in your locket.
Yeah.
So I thought the enzyme and you spray it when you want to clear the aura when you move in.
Yeah.
So when you keep it in your locket or on your table, it's closed, right? So how does that help you?
I said it's ionic exchange. It's a belief. But yeah, so we do have small tests what we do when we do in person the session. So you will feel the difference. You actually feel the difference in energy. And so we have those small tests what we do and we show. So
wow. Cool. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Preeti ji. Very nice session. I had one question, especially. You said that the Scooby, when you immerse in water for a month, it can heal fractures. So is there any evidence that, and how does it do it? Because that
See, this line of work, we need a lot of validations, and which is still in the process. But whatever I have shared, many things are experiential. And a lot of things, the effort from BA is going on in validating the data. And till today, whatever we have said, now Dr. Arun is waiting, he's there among us. He will be talking. There are a lot of things which is being said, okay? Yeah, this happens like this happens like this happens like this. But the validation is not there. But he is the person who first started validating all these, whatever the, claims we say. And till now, all the validation has been proved right. So I'm very hopeful with a lot of our effort which is going on in the research area to get the proper positive report about it. And see, we are in the process. When I say we, I mean all of us who are there, 60 people, all of us are the part of building an industry, the bioenzyme industry, which is going to be the future in next 15, 20 years. So we are going to be the solid pillars of that. So, all the effort is a lot of validation, and proving is another part. There are two things. One is proving, one is validation. So right now we are just going with validation and proving. When we come across something to prove, that takes a lot of time, 10, 15 years maybe. So proving is another part, another journey. But yeah, the effort is going on. Whatever is get validated, we do share it with our people who are with us in this journey.
Hello, ma'am. Nalva here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask two questions. One is regarding red cap enzyme that you were talking about. What exactly is a red cap enzyme?
Yeah.
And second is, you said you carry this enzyme in your locket.
Yeah.
Is it the concentrated form of enzyme? Or
Yeah, it's a
is it
concentrated one. And I put concentrated one because it gives me some color and nothing else.
Okay, so is it a good practice? Like sometimes you dilute and keep, and you use some of it, and some part of it is left, the diluted version. Is it safe to keep it for a long time and use it continually? Because I've seen the color of that diluted liquid keeps changing over the days.
And you might find some residue also settling with the time and all that. It's absolutely fine, but it is safe to use. The enzyme quality doesn't change. It's good to use.
So you keep it over a long time. Do you need to further dilute it? I mean, does it change the concentration level?
Depends on what product you want to use it for.
Okay.
Yeah. So it all depends what product are we. So, we need to do a lot of homework before we formulate any product. And that is what I've been trying to tell. And this is an excellent platform to let people know we are yet to do our homework. And, if we want acceptance in our society for this enzyme product, we need to do our homework well. If we are talking about replacing these chemicals from our market, from homes, and Har Ghar bioenzyme, what we are running the thing, it has to be in a form which people accept. I say, if we just mix it and we give it, people may not like. I might like my enzymes are good. I write good enzyme, but everybody may not have this feeling for it, right? When I'm in the market, I need to behave like them. I need to give them what they like, because my focus is on accepting, when they accept it, and the more enzyme is getting poured into our water system. It is not about, selling one bottle of floor cleaner or one bottle of toilet cleaner. It is not that. How much I'm pouring into it. In fact, I went to even I have gone through a lot of trial and error. My product may not be the best in the market. All that has come through. But, I have told my people, whoever come to me and they want to buy, they are aware this is natural. These are live products. These are not dead products. These are always been active until unless we stabilize, and if we tell them that, they will buy with a goodwill. Acha, I'm doing something, maybe the guilt feeling. They want to come out of the guilt feeling, what they're using in the home. So they will buy with a good feeling. But after going home, maybe they don't like the smell,
Correct.
If they don't like, then they start telling, hey, what they've given, it's not good. Ye kya de diya hame, acha nahi hai smell. So I tell them, if you don't like the smell, please pour it down in your commode. I'm still happy because it is still doing the work. So it is like that. I mean, these products are with the mission. They are not just product. These products are here to bring that evolutionary change in our ecology, to bring back the balance, what we have destroyed in last so many decades. So we need to bring back that balance. And this balance is at the microbial level. It is not just that what we're talking. Yeah, so the purpose is different, and we need to sell our product with the purpose. It is not just, you buy the shampoo, you buy my this, you buy my this. That doesn't work. But yes, if we are presenting it to people so that they like our product, we need to make it in a good acceptance form so that they also like, and our purpose is met, right? So we need to, people shouldn't hate buying enzyme. People shouldn't say, "Arey, bioenzyme, if it is bioenzyme, it is not a good product." It shouldn't be like that. Bioenzyme product can be as glamorous as any other product in the market. We just have to formulate it well, right? That's thank you.
और मुझे लगता है प्रीति जी, एक फेथ होता ना कि मतलब मुझे अपने प्रोडक्ट कह लो या बायोएंजाइम पे फेथ है। अभी परसों में कहीं से आई ना, मेरा पैर छिल गया, वो जूती पहन के ना नई थी, तो मैंने आते ही मैंने कहा यार बायोएंजाइम लगाती हूँ। नेक्स्ट डे मतलब मुझे पता भी नहीं चला, वो जो पेन हो रहा था वो एकदम सही हो गया। तो अब मैं उसको थोड़ा इस टाइप से भी ट्राई कर रही हूँ, कहीं कट हो गया तो उसमें लगा के देखना। तो मुझे मतलब लगता है कि यार faith है, वही वाली बात है कि आपने कहा ना,
it works, and bioenzyme works with intention, and all the papers, whatever is validated, we have put it in our resource and in our website. So anybody who wants to access, they can access it. Yeah. So I think we are done. We let us. Dr. Arun is here. Even he will be waiting.
Okay, so I'm hopeful that all the queries have been answered, and Preeti ji will be taking another session, so we'll have more of her. As I said, there's a lot on the horizon yet, and let's proceed ahead. And I'd like to invite Dr. Arun. Dr. Arun will be focusing on the antimicrobial properties of bioenzymes. And just a quick introduction about Dr. Arun. He's a research scholar and he specializes in bioenzymes. His research work includes investigation of the characterization, production, and optimization of garbage enzyme produced from pre-consumer organic waste, and subsequently identify the effect on anaerobic digestion of dairy waste activated sludge. Dr. Arun has studied industrial biotechnology and environmental science and technology from Anna University, Chennai, and he's worked as an environmental consultant, and he has commendable contributions in research about environmental and sustainable applications of bioenzymes. We welcome you on board, Dr. Arun, and we are all ears.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much
for welcoming me. So I am Dr. Arun. I have completed my PhD in NIT Trichy, and I worked on these garbage enzymes. So this bioenzyme is also familiar to me by the word garbage enzyme. So that was what are the things I have done, and what are the things I'm done according to the procedures, and what are the implementations we have done. All these things we are going to discuss. I'm thanking Bioenzyme Academy for making calling me for this session. Thank you very much, ma'am, Preeti ma'am, and other team members of BEA. So I'm starting my presentation. It is visible, ma'am?
No.
Can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, but it's not visible yet.
Yes, ma'am, it is hanged off. Wait a while, ma'am, I will. The screen is shared, ma'am?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. I'm trying to share. Some problem in internet, ma'am. Wait a while. My system was totally hanging, ma'am. Don't know why.
Would you like to stop sharing once and
Yes, ma'am.
restart it,
Yes,
sir?
ma'am. For a while, ma'am. Then I will share it again. I was unable to. I was unable to do that also.
Doctor, I have your paper. Shall I show that paper? Based on that, you can
Can you
talk.
able to stop the sharing, ma'am? And the video also, ma'am. Due to that video, I guess it was stuck.
Okay.
I was unable to do anything. Now it was shared, ma'am.
No, sir.
Doctor, you can just start talking. Whenever it has to be shared, it will come.
You can share your presentation, email it to one of the co-hosts and they can present it.
Okay. Priti, ma'am, I can share with you, ma'am.
Yes, please. You can WhatsApp to me, doctor. I will download it and share it.
Okay, ma'am. 2 minutes. I'm trying to share 1 minute, ma'am. Now you can able
Yes,
to
sir. It's visible now. Yeah. But I guess you'll have to move to slideshow
Yes, ma'am.
presentation. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Presentation. Ma'am. And okay. Good evening to all.
Perfect.
So now I'm going to talk basics about the biocatalytic activity and the antimicrobial activity of garbage enzyme, what we have done for our project. So we started our project uh, to reduce the pollution which is created in the water. So generally, due to the population growth, industrial growth has become very higher. As a result, the effluent comes out of the industries is more, and these effluents are treated by different methodologies. And during the secondary stage of treatment, a huge amount of biosludge which comes out of the industry. So this is that handling of the biosludge and disposal of biosludge having very lesser studies in the field of that is to enhance the disposal standards and to enrich the products which can be obtained from the sludge. So for that we are working on it. So in that concept, when we are going, we can able to use some microbes or enzymes to hydrolyze these sludge for further treatment. So in that path, we have found So enzymatic treatment is best when compared to microorganism, because the microorganism load will be more when we are going for microbial pre-treatment also. So in that concept, we have taken hydrolytic enzyme treatment, and we are checking with different sources. During that sources only, we have found these garbage enzyme can be utilized in this, because uh, at that time there is no proper study, but some of the people have studied these garbage enzymes can able to reduce BOD, that is biological oxygen demand, and chemical oxygen demand, etc., etc. So with that knowledge, so we started working on it. And first we have started how to produce the enzyme, and this production of enzyme is based on waste material 3 parts, and 1 part of molasses or brown sugar what we are having, and the 10 parts of water. And this is the formula given by Roshikon, a scientist in Thailand. So that paper and the blog what she wrote, we have read, and from that we started our research. So we have studied some of the papers which is related to it, and we have found that these garbage enzymes may have, but there is no proper outcome or the results stating that what are the things are the catalytic activity or the antimicrobial activity of garbage enzymes when we are starting the research. So we started working on it, and we start producing the garbage enzyme in the proportion what the madam told, that is Roshikan ma'am told, that is 3:1:10. And with this start, then we have studied about how these garbage enzymes are working in wastewater, and some of the studies told that up to 60%, 90%, and 80% of BOD, COD, and total suspended solids are reducing. And some of the studies told the E. coli content in the gray water is reducing a lot with the help of bioenzyme treatment. And many studies have determining what are the compositions of bioenzymes, why it is increasing or reducing the BOD levels in a wastewater. So with these all knowledge, we started our work, and we started producing the bioenzyme. And we have fermented for 3 months, as said by Rosikon. Then we have went for centrifugation to separate the solid and liquid part. And this liquid part is further separated with filter papers. Then we went for environmental characteristics, and these environmental characteristics implies pH value is 3.5 to 3.9, and total dissolved solids is 1040 milligram per liter, and BOD is 79 milligram per liter, and COD is around 158 milligram per liter, and total protein. This protein plays an important role of the biocatalytic activity, because all the enzymes are functional proteins only. So with this knowledge, we thought the bioenzyme is having some biocatalytic activity because it contains proteins, and it can be used in environmental application because it is having lesser biological oxygen demand and COD level. So with this knowledge, we have went for treating the sludge. So before treating, we want to know sludge is having some of the microbes like E. coli, Staphylococcus, Salmonella, and Candida albicans. These are the fungus majorly found in most of the sludge material. So for that, we have want to do some trial whether these garbage enzymes have an effect on antimicrobial activity or not. So this study was started in the year 2013. So at the time, we have taken different proportions of garbage enzyme. The concentrated enzyme was diluted to 5%, 10%, and 12%, 15%. And then we have poured in a small disk. That method is called disk diffusion method. In that, we have added the enzymes, and some standard parameters or antibiotics are there. So we want to check whether the enzyme is working and within the control or above the control level. So some antibiotic have the property to kill E. coli, Staphylococcus, and Salmonella. Whether that is that parameter, that is millimeter clear zone formed by the control, is more or less we want to find. So for that, we have used some standards also. So whenever we are going to cultivate any bacterial species, we will go for nutrient agar. And when we are going to cultivate fungal, we will go for potato dextrose. So, and the measurement is done with the help of millimeter of concentration, how the disc is forming. So this is the image what we have done, exactly what with different concentrations of bioenzymes. So 50 ml, 100 ml and 150 ml we have taken in a disc, and the standard, that standard is nothing but an antibiotic already, which is going to kill E. coli, and a type of antibiotic which is killing staphylococcus, and a different type of antibiotic which is going to kill salmonella. And the last fungi, we also, Candida albicans also we have checked. So in all these studies, we have taken, we have used different pH and different, that is two type of pH. One is natural pH, what the garbage enzyme is having. So that is around 3.5 to 3.9. So we have adjusted the pH to 3.5. And we have adjusted the pH of garbage enzyme with the help of some phosphate buffers. So by which we have adjusted the pH, and the pH was increased to 7. So this result, what I'm showing in front of you, is a result which is taken by adding a garbage enzyme at different proportion at the pH level of 7. So this table clearly explains you the zone of inhibition. So zone of inhibition is nothing but the microorganism grows in a particular area, and these enzymes what we added is trying to kill that microorganism or suppress the activity of the microorganism, then the zone will be formed in the petri disk what we have used. So like this zone will be formed. So that zone will be measured, and that measurement only we have given for different dilutions. So 5%, 10% and 15%, like that we have taken with the different concentration of enzymes in mole level. And we have found these E. coli, staphylococcus and salmonella species are killed by the garbage enzyme at the level of 50%, is more when compared to 5% of garbage enzyme. So when we are increasing the percentage of garbage enzyme and the dosage, we are able to get more ability of killing antimicrobial activity, antibacterial activity of garbage enzyme. So this is the way how we have found. And the antibiotic what we have used for doing the standard is chlorophenicol, and this chloramphenicol made a zone of 17 mm zone of inhibition, 18 mm zone of inhibition for staphylococcus, 13 mm of staphylococcus, and salmonella 18 mm for staphylococcus and 13 mm for salmonella species. When compared to these standards, this 50% of garbage enzyme at the level of pH, it shows higher zone of inhibition when compared to the standard. And from this, we have concluded these garbage enzyme are having antimicrobial activity with them. Then we have found the same for fungal, and the a standard was used, and the standard produced only 16 mm zone of inhibition. And when we are doing with garbage enzyme at a pH level of 7, we got up to 22% of reduction in microbial activity with fungal, which the Candida albicans inhibition is around 22% was there. 22 mm zone was there. So these clearly denoted that the garbage enzyme have the capability of antibacterial and antifungal activities. Other than that, some of the microbes will be there, and some of the pathogenic organisms also there. So we want to check whether these garbage enzyme, all these things we have related only with wastewater sludge what we have obtained. So we have checked whether this garbage enzyme is going to treat that sludge what we are having. So for that, first we have done with antimicrobial activity. Then we went for disinfectant activity of garbage enzyme. So this have a standard procedure. So generally the phenol is the best standard used to disinfect Salmonella and Staphylococcus. So we have tried with this, and if the result what we have, the ratio between the standard to the ratio with the garbage enzyme is more than 1, then the enzyme is having the property of property as that of phenol, or property more than that of phenol. And when it is lesser than 1, the coefficient value is lesser than 1, then the activity is lower with the phenol. So with this content, we have checked. So for some general procedures are there to do that. So 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and 8 minutes, and 10 minutes. We will check the growth using the standard procedure. So we have checked with the phenol and also with garbage enzyme at different dilutions. So phenol 1:100, 1:105, 1:10, 1:115, and 1:120. These are the standard procedure we want to follow to compare any disinfectant with phenol. So we have used this procedure, and we have diluted the garbage enzyme 1:100, 1:200, 1:300, 1:400, and 1:500. And this G is nothing but we able to see the growth of microorganism, and the NG is nothing but we are able to see no growth of microorganism after particular time. So when we are comparing this two, we have found the dilution rate of 1:400 is similar to that of 1:110. So this was found, and according to to calculate the phenol coefficient of garbage enzyme, we want to divide the ratios, that is 1:4000 divided by 1:10. So approximately we got 4. So it is more than 1. So the garbage enzyme is having the ability to act as a disinfectant, was concluded from this result. Then we went for what are, because of microbial activity or because of some enzyme activity, this disinfectant is carried by the garbage enzyme, we want to know. So generally the enzymes, generally what the organic matter will contain is protein, carbohydrate, and lipids. So these proteins are generally cleaved off or solubilized by protease. Carbohydrates are solubilized by amylase. When and lipids are fatty acids are produced by lipase when it reacts with lipids. So we want to solubilize the sludge. So for that, we need some enzymes to be present in our garbage enzyme. So we have checked whether these enzymes are present in garbage enzyme or not. So for that, different procedures are there. So we have followed the standard procedures, and we have checked for different pH. We adjusted the pH of garbage enzyme with the phosphate buffers, and we have found the highest amount of activity of protease was found at the range of 6.5, and the lipase activity we have obtained at 8 pH. The pH 8, the lipase activity is more. So the generally what the garbage enzyme we have produced is around the pH of 3.6. Then we have increases the pH value by which we are activating the proteins, that is functional proteins, which is present in the garbage enzyme, because every proteins and that is functional proteins have their own optimized pH level. So at that time only it starts work with the substrate what it requires. So we have checked with it, and for lipase it is around 8. We have obtained a maximum lipase activity, and amylase activities was checked, and it is also around 6.5. It shows higher when compared to all other pH. So with this, we have concluded when we are increasing the pH level, because of these enzyme activity only, this disinfectant and the antimicrobial activity also happens with the help of in the garbage enzymes. So we have concluded that garbage enzyme is having amylase, lipase, and proteases. Then we want to have some monitoring parameters to produce the garbage enzyme. So when we are going for continuous production or batch production, we want to, when we want to stop the process, that we want to know. So for that, we have checked what are the organic acids are present in the garbage enzymes, and with that, with the help of HPLC instrument, we have checked with this. So we have taken different standards, like we have, so these are the standard parameters what we have used to optimize the HPLC activity. So we have checked with the different concentration of mobile phase, and we have found some of the, so these are the standard acids we have taken to check with the HPLC, and we have found when the concentration of mobile phase and these we want to fix the parameters for HPLC with some standard acids. So we have taken citric acid, lactic acid, malic acid, acetic acid, and oxalic acid. So these are the common acids which may be produced when we are fermenting some fruit waste. So we have taken citrus fruits only at the starting stage. So we have found these are the major acids may be found in citrus based peels. So we have taken the standards and we have optimized the conditions for how the pH should be varied, how the mobile phase want to fix. All these things we have studied, and finally we have come up with a that is standard graphs for different acids, oxalic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, acetic acid, and malic acid. And then we have fixed with the flow rate, because this flow rate also plays an important role for detecting the chemical compounds present in our sample. So we have checked the flow rate and we have fixed the flow rate also for different acids. What is the flow rate I want to do when I'm going for a HPLC? So finally, we have optimized the conditions. So these are the things which is HPLC plot, which is have been obtained for the standards of oxalic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, acetic acid, and malic acid. So these standards we have run and we have found the peak values for it. So after that, we have went for how much the acetic acid is there, lactic acid is there, oxalic acid and malic acid and citric acid is there for different days or maturation day of garbage enzyme. So after finalizing the parameters in HPLC, we have given our own sample, which is collected at different days, 15, 13, 45, 60, 75, and 90 days. So maximum we are going for fermentation for 3 months at 90 days. So what are the acid conversion happening during the process we want to know. And we have found all the acids which have been present in the 50th day, it starts reducing except acetic acid. So acetic acid level is up to 98% in 90th day of garbage enzyme. So the maximum acid which is present in garbage enzyme is around acetic acid is present more when it was matured for 3 months. So all the acids is converted into acetic acid by some microbial actions. So we have found the garbage enzyme when, so we want to optimize what type of acid we want to use for our application. So generally the vinegar plays an important role in cleaning process, all these things. So vinegar is nothing but acetic acid. So it can be used for treating the sludge like that. We have got an idea. So then we have started to work on the characteristics of dairy waste activity. So we have taken a dairy industry, and from the dairy industry, we have taken a biosludge. So that characterization we have done. So its pH, total solids, total COD, soluble COD level, and total protein, carbohydrates, and how much E. coli is present in the dairy waste activated sludge. So our aim is to use garbage enzyme and to treat the dairy waste activated sludge. For that, we have done different optimization to maximize this hydrolysis process. So solubilization is nothing but long chain proteins want to be converted into amino acids. Long chain carbohydrates want to be converted into simple sugars, and long chain lipids should be uh, uh, converted into fatty acids. So these fatty acids, amino acids, and simpler sugars can easily taken by the microorganism for further treatment. So these garbage enzymes can be used in hydrolysis or solubilization or not, we have studied. So before that, we have worked only with citrus fruits. Then we have went for different fruits and vegetable sources also. So we have taken pineapple, tomato, orange peels, then cabbage waste or the waste which comes out of cabbage. Then we have taken a mango peels. So for these, we have started producing the garbage enzyme, and this is also we have done for 3 months. Fermentation we have done, and we have checked whether it is reducing. So every thing is reducing its sorry, whether it's reducing the suspended solids, total solids, and we have checked with different characteristics of enzymes also. So these enzymes have the ability to reduce the suspended solids and total solids, and we have checked with different enzymes: pineapple, orange, tomato, cabbage, and mango. In these enzymes, we have found the highest reduction was done with the help of pineapple and citrus, that is orange based enzymes. So we have further studies also, we have confirmed this pineapple and orange enzymes at the level of pH, it's working more, and we are able to reduce more amount of suspended solids and total solids. So we can able to solubilize these sludge with the help of garbage enzyme was been done, and we have optimized that the pineapple and citrus plays an important role in reducing this. So further treatment, we have taken only the mixture of pineapple and citrus enzymes for further processing, and then we have went for optimizing everything, and finally we have obtained a hydrolyzed garbage enzyme that we have taken into a reactor, and we have tried to produce biohydrogen in it, and we have succeeded that biohydrogen is produced because of the hydrolysis happened in before, that is pre-treatment was done with the help of garbage enzyme, and then that sludge have been goes to anaerobic digestion. There the gases are produced, and we have found and we have characterized some hydrogen gases coming out of it. So this is the general phenomenon why we have taken that process. So we have taken pineapple and orange peels, and we have went for fermentation. So, and we have optimized the conditions also, and the protease, amylase, lipase activity plays an important role in our sludge degradation process. So we have optimized, and we have not went for 90 days, because we want the hydrolysis should be done with the help of protease and amylase and lipases. We want to maximize the biocatalytic activity of garbage enzyme. We have not worked on acetic acid production or any other acid production. So we have worked on how to increase the biocatalytic activity of garbage enzyme, and we have optimized it. So the optimized condition says for 5 days, if we are going for fermentation, I got the highest amount of catalytic activity of protease, amylase, and lipases. So we have produced the garbage enzymes for 5 days. Then that garbage enzyme was filtered, and it is used to treat the sludge which is produced from dairy industry. So generally in a sludge, we have an extra polymeric substrate, that is EPS. So which contains these proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and microorganisms, and the biochemicals which is produced by the microorganism in an encapsulated way. To break that encapsulation, these garbage enzymes are working, and we have found that it is hydrolyzing the thing. For further hydrolyzing the sludge, we have went for ultrasound pre-treatment also. to increase the biohydrogen production, and we have succeeded in that also. So this is the overall thing what we have done for sludge degradation with the help of garbage enzyme. So garbage enzyme has the potential of hydrolyzing or solubilizing the sludge was concluded by us. So some of the recent works was published in 2024 by some of the scientists. So they also have shown that the amylase activity for three different enzymes they have taken. One is citrus-based enzyme, non-citrus enzymes, and vegetable-based enzymes. And they have some control as distilled water only they have used as a control. So there is no zone of inhibition in distilled water. But when we have a citrus and non-citrus and vegetable enzymes, the amylase activity is more when compared to more in citrus when compared to vegetable and non-citrus enzyme. So that was proved by them also. So recently they have done and they have cited us. So this is the zone of inhibition what they have done for amylase activity and protease activity. And in both the results, they have proved that the citrus enzyme has an ability of producing protease activity and amylase activity higher when compared to non-citrus and vegetable-based enzymes. Then the antioxidant activity also studied by them. So they have found the citrus enzyme and vegetable enzyme is more or less having more or less having a higher antioxidant activity when compared to non-citrus enzymes. So according to the application, we can able to. So in our application, we have used we have used a different proportion of pineapple and citrus enzymes, and the proportion also we have changed, and we have found in a particular proportion we got more amount of protease, amylase, and lipase, because we focus only on increasing the biocatalytic activity, and we have attained that also by doing some optimization techniques. So every applications, whatever they are doing, it is based on the substrate what we are going to use for treating. So according to that, we want to change the composition and the dilution of garbage enzyme. So this will help in give a basic idea how these garbage enzymes can be used in treatment of sludge and wastewater. So these are some of the opportunities with GE, because these are the things also we are working on. So garbage enzyme having antibacterial, antifungal, and antimicrobial activity, and it is having a huge amount of bacteria, good bacteria, that is probiotics are there, and some other bacteria which helps in degrading emerging pollutants also. So these emerging pollutants also can be the heavy metals, emerging pollutants can be degraded with the help of garbage enzyme. So some of the studies have reported, and they have tested different microorganisms are present in that garbage enzymes. And metagenomic study was conducted, and they have given a detailed list. I will give the references which worked on metagenomic studies also. So these are the opportunities when we are it can be used by the garbage enzyme. So these garbage enzymes are bioenzymes, can be used in making soap, sprayer for humans and pet, to disinfect or to make them free of microorganisms. So it can be used in disinfectant for floor cleaning, etc., etc. Then in paper recycling also, it gives, because of the enzyme property, it helps the quality of the paper when compared to non-treated bioenzyme, non-treated paper with bioenzyme. The smell and the paper texture elasticity was increased when we are using garbage enzyme during the paper recycling process. So some of them are working on wound healing patches. So we have seen patches are available. So that patches also they are working on wound healing properties with the help of garbage enzyme. And some of them are working on pet-based food products. So some of the work have been in aquaculture, we have found and some of them are working on packing material, how these garbage enzymes are working. So how it helps in antibacterial and antimicrobial activity. And most of the papers working on that is effluent treatment plant, leaching, landfill leaching, and how these bioenzymes are helping composting process. So all these are the opportunities can be flourished with the help of garbage enzyme. So when we start utilizing this garbage enzyme in different fields, we can able to attain nearly 5 to 6 sustainable goals given by UNO. So majorly 12th point, that is responsible consumption and production, and life on land, life under the water, and the industrial innovation and infrastructure can be developed. So when we start producing more number of products with the help of garbage enzyme, we can able to make the good environment by which the good health and well-being can be attained, and we can able to give economical, that is opportunities for work also. So because of unemployment and due to some issues, poverty is coming. So that can be controlled when we start up different products with the help of garbage enzyme. So garbage enzyme has a potential to work in different field, but all in most of the things have been succeeded, and it is on the way because of the policies is not properly formulated for bio-based products. Because of that only, we are unable to market some of the things. So, and the policy making also come up yearly, I guess. So if that was happen, then garbage enzyme can able to helps to achieve most of the sustainable goals given by UNO. So these are the references, recent references works. The first reference gives a detailed note on garbage enzyme and their applications in environmental, ecotoxicological, and environmental safety. And the second one will tell about what are the enzymes and biochemicals present in garbage enzyme and metagenomic profile. That is, what are the microorganisms present in garbage enzyme, whether these microorganism is good or bad, and what are the beneficial microbes present in the garbage enzyme was detailedly studied by this researcher, and they have used this garbage enzyme for treating leachate which comes out of landfill. So thank you all for listening. So if you have any queries, you can.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun. Thank you so much. That was like a lot of data for us all to retain for the very first time. And I guess there's a lot of homework that we all have to do before we proceed to the following sessions. I'm sure Preeti ji is going to conduct some quiz format also is there. And it was an amazing session. It was like a magic happening, with all that data which you were projecting, so much of experimentation. And so the bottom line largely that you were talking about is that when you were experimenting with different kinds of enzymes, and it was found from the studies that mostly citrus-based enzymes have done a wonderful effect on maybe proteolytic activities or antimicrobial activities or solubilization. Am I right, Dr. Arun?
Yes, ma'am. It is having more potential.
Yeah, it has more potential. Obviously, because that's at the industrial level. Sorry.
In the field of environment, it is having more potential. When we are going for some wound healing properties, some other fruit waste plays an important role, and some are working on herbs also. It is also giving a good results.
Correct.
But
so each and every
published, so we are unable to get the results from them, but they are working on it and it will become soon, I guess.
Absolutely wonderful. So each and every enzyme that we can make, at the grassroots levels, even if it's not at the industrial level, it's going to be of significant contribution to the ecology, to revive the ecosystems, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Arun. And the wonderful opportunities that you were talking about, like there are large number of new vistas are there wherein, you can work, the enzymes can be put to use, and all the sustainable goals which are stated by the United Nations can be met if each individual, even like, the other day we had this talk with Dr. Mansi, who was a lake reformist. Like
Yes,
every individual at the domestic level, if we start using bioenzymes, and a decontamination of gray water can be attained, and that also can be of the yield better results, wonderful results, because we are stopping the pollution right at the source.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So the forum is open for queries now. Yeah, Nalvaji.
Yes.
Nalvaji has raised her hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Arun,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a few doubts.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
was there any comparison in terms of time in terms of comparing the effectiveness of a standard antimicrobial versus a bioenzyme? As in, what took how much time? Was there a comparison?
I cannot get you, ma'am. How
No,
you are
sir.
asking?
Like you said that there was you used a standard antimicrobial agent versus bioenzyme for
Yes, ma'am.
comparison.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
my question is, was there also a study in terms of the time that it takes for the effect to come on? As in, what acts in how much time on the substance?
Actually, generally this will happen because generally what they will do is first they will grow the microorganism in the petri dish. For example, I want to test with E. coli. E. coli have the ability to grow on the nutrient agar. It will it needs to grow for nearly 24 hours to 48 hours. So after it grows only, they will introduce the disc which is loaded with garbage enzyme, and then they will check, they will leave it for at least 12 hours. After 12 hours only, we are got these results.
Okay, so
this
this is
the
a standard time.
This is a standard procedure. It is according to the microorganism, it differs.
Okay.
So,
sir,
so according to the growth of microbes and what is the minimum time for doubling of its is plays an important role in this. So
okay.
it
So
is
we basically used a standard time for comparison. There is
yes, yes, ma'am.
okay.
It is according to the microbe, it will vary.
Okay, and sir, you also mentioned that the studies on in two different pH conditions, 3.6 and 7. So
Yes,
mapping it from lab to a real life situation, this pH is the pH of the solution, the bioenzyme solution that we will be using, or is it?
Actually, what we in our application for industrial sludge degradation, I want to make a high biocatalytic activity in the garbage enzyme. Okay? So I want to increase protease, amylase, and lipases. So generally, these protease, amylase, and lipase have their optimal pH and temperature. Temperature we can able to maintain within the experimental level. So maximum it will reach up to 30 only. So in a within mesophilic condition, all these enzymes will be active. But when we are checking with the pH 3.6, the activity of protease, lipase, and amylase is lesser when compared with pH 7. So for our application, we have increased the pH and we have went for solubilization. So if any application, the catalytic activity is required, for example, we have a waste material in that we have more amount of carbohydrates. Okay, so at that time, I will check with the amylase activity, and I will increase the amylase activity at the time with the help of any buffers. So by which I can reduce or solubilize the carbohydrates. So according to the application, it differs. So to my application, I have done this pH variation, and most of the enzymes are maximally, that is, garbage enzyme is not an enzyme. So it is having an enzyme, it is having microorganism, it is having some other biochemicals like acetic acid and some other acids also. So different applications, some of them are working. So for example, some of the treatment can be done with help of this cellulase producing microorganisms. So microorganisms are active, but when the substrate is given to it, so there some pH it will develop by its own. So it will start producing some of the enzymes or some of the biochemicals by which it will maintain the pH by itself, and it starts degrading the cellulic material. So that microbe also there in our study, but we don't want to go complicated with microbes. So we want only the biocatalytic activity of garbage enzyme to be increased. So in some application, they want to increase the microbial activity. There they will give only the substrate to it, and they will find how the microorganism is utilizing it. So for that, some of the parameters we can able to adjust.
Okay, so the reason why I asked this question is, sir, if that is the case, then the water source that we used for dilution and the characteristic of that water in terms of pH would be very important in terms of the final result of the use of the bioenzyme.
Definitely, because the pH plays an important role in environmental aspects. So when we are going for any of the things, when we are also taking, taking fruits, vegetables. So their pH is around 3.56. So when we are going for treating something, we want to increase the pH or reduce the pH according to the phenomenon what we are going to use. So when we are utilizing a water, that water, because of that only, when we are going for more dilutions, the activity is increased because of this phenomenon also.
Okay. Sir, another question is, now since this is acetic acid, it's ultimately vinegar, it's a form of preservative. So
yes.
I'm assuming that microorganisms in this medium, once it reaches that acetic acid stage, would either hibernate or go into an inactive mode because of the no, it doesn't.
Inactive form till the substrate is not reached it. So when the substrate reaches to it, it starts its activity because it has microbes has the capability to adapt to a particular environment when we leave it for a while. So when we diluting it, we are making it to active. So that dilution is because of activating the microbes only. So that microbes only going to produce this protease, amylase, lipase, or any other organic or biochemicals. So
just one more question, sir. As an extension to that, so you said when you dilute, we activate. So my question is, let's say we finish the 90 days fermentation period, and we don't separate the solids from the bioenzyme. I mean, the organic material which is there, we leave it in the solution.
Okay.
So now, will the organism be active in that particular state, sir? Because effectively it has got a substrate in it, and
we up to 90 days we are fermenting because the maximum number of sludge whatever organic matter you are given can be degraded or solubilized by the microbes. So it will be in the form of amino acids or further degradable form. But some of the microorganisms have the capability to utilize it. Some of them are not. So it is based on the application and the raw material what you are using. So some of the microorganisms are active, some of them are inactive. So like aerobic microbes will be active when we are supplying oxygen, and anaerobic microbes will be inactive at the time. So when we are coming with the anaerobic condition, anaerobic microbes will start active. So the microorganism will be there. So the conditions also, the environmental conditions and the raw material plays an important role.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sumitra ji, I guess, has a query.
Yes, Dr. Arun, thank you so much for that. It was highly technical and my questions might be a bit silly. Please bear with me. But very small question. When you say dilution of 5%, 10% and 15%, you mean 15% bioenzyme and 85% water. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And when you showed us the chart of the inhibition
So here in
zone.
our study, what we did is
Yeah.
we are adjusting the pH. So we have used buffers instead of water in our study.
Okay, and what are buffers?
Sodium phosphate buffer we have prepared. So to maintain the pH of that enzyme, we have used it.
Okay, okay. And the next question is, when you showed us a chart of the inhibition zone,
Yes.
you had like a 50, 100 and 150 on the left, apart
Yes.
from the pH on the top.
Yes.
What was that? The 50,
So
100 and
5% I have prepared. That is 5 ml of garbage enzyme mixed with buffer of 95 ml. So from that I have taken 50 ml, 150 ml and 100 ml. So the concentration also I want to check whether in this particular concentration, how much ml I want to take to kill the microorganism. So that I have.
Okay. All right. And just now we were talking about the pH varying with dilution, different dilutions. So
95% it will happen when according to the water what you are using. If you are using a distilled water, that will not happen. It will maintain the pH to particular level only. When we are using a normal tap water, so the pH level will increase up to 5.5. 5.5 or 6, around 6.
at what
So
percentage?
around 6, most of the microbes will be active.
At what percentage of dilution will the pH rise to 5.5?
So it is according to the application it differs, ma'am, because the activation what we need, we want to.
Okay. So what about RO water?
RO water is having it is free of microorganisms and it has a pH of 7. So it can be utilized for doing this process, but we are going for a cheaper process and affordable solutions. So using a tap water is enough to do this process because we are working on reducing the pollution, everything in my aspect. So when we are going for a medical field, then we can go for a highly secured water for doing the process.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sumitra ji. Arun sir, Raj ji is asking how long a diluted enzyme can be effective.
So diluted enzyme will have some microorganism. That's only I'm telling. So we are having a diluted form of garbage enzyme. These enzymes are having a microbes. So when it gets a environment, adaptable environment and substrate for its substrate or a food for it to eat and grow, then it starts activated. It will be in an inactive form only, in the dilution form also. When it reacts with the substrate, it starts activating. I think the answer is given for the question.
Yeah. And Ruji is asking, lemon bioenzyme can have same as orange bioenzyme. I guess both are citric acids, so she's trying to know the difference
we are
between both.
having citric based enzymes. It will have more or less the same chemical composition and the microbial action also somewhat same. But some of the parameters, that is some of the things like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids in the peels will differ when compared with the citrus and lemon. So according to that, there will be a slight modification in the concentration of the biochemical which is produced from it. But it will have the activity of protease, amylase, lipase generally. And when we are checking with the biochemical activity at the initial state, the citric acid level will differ according to it. Finally, it was handed to a microorganism, a native microorganism that will convert that citric also acid to its acetic acid, and that we have studied and we have proven that also. So the initial level, there will be some chemical formulation may be changed for the citrus and orange.
Yeah, and at the end of the maturation phase, like all other acids, this will also be converted into a potent acetic acid.
because that is the metabolic pathway every microorganism working on.
Yes.
So
Correct.
finally, it will be converted to acetic acid. And
Yeah.
these acetic acids can be utilized by some of the microbes like methanogens to produce biogas. So VFAs,
Methanogenic bacteria.
methanogenic bacteria, if they can be utilized by that.
Yeah, that's where anaerobic digestion comes
Plays an
into picture.
important role. Come to into your picture.
Yeah, thank you. And Mr. Zubin wants to know how to maintain pH 7 for bioenzymes.
So, for our experimental condition, we have not used water for dilution or anything else. We have used a buffers.
Phosphate
Phosphate buffer we have used, and we have maintained the pH throughout our experiment.
And apart from 3 enzymes, were there any type of enzymes present in non-citric or vegetable enzymes? Mr. Zubin is trying to ask.
Some of the researchers have told celluloic enzymes are cellulase-based enzymes are there in the citrus. Citrus enzyme is more when compared to other things. After that, silanase, phytase, all these things have not been studied well. So it should be studied because every enzyme has its own procedure to identify the activity according to the substrate. So activity is nothing but how much enzyme we are taking, how much substrates we are giving to it, and how much time the enzyme is converting that into a product. That is called as activity or assay. So that assay differs from one of the enzymes. So all these are in progress only. We want to do more research on it and we want to find it.
And Pavitraji is asking, will bilimbi, I don't know what bilimbi is, bilimbi bioenzyme have the same effect of citrus bioenzyme? What is bilimbi, Pavitraji?
Hello?
Hello, yeah, Pavitraji.
Actually, it is a type of citrus fruit. I don't know whether it is citrus or not.
Okay.
It is a variety of amla. We'll say in South India, we'll say it is a pulichaka. I think sir will know.
Literally, ma'am, I cannot understand what it is.
Which part of South India, Pavitraji?
Basically, in Kerala, and in fish curries they will put that fruit.
So instead of tamarind, they will use that now, ma'am.
Yeah, might be. Sometimes they use in southern part of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. It will be more sour.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So it is having some acidic condition.
Kokum. Someone is saying kokum. Yeah, kokum is found in Gujarat also. Correct.
No,
it has
it's
that.
not kokum. It is family of star fruit without the ridges.
Yes.
So this is like tamarind. It is replacing.
It is called malnat tamarind.
Yes. So it is having a property of acidic in nature. So when we are going for further degradation, it is not having the same characteristics like the citrus. It will have different characteristics. Till now, I have not experienced it. So if you are doing that thing, then we can. So you given an idea how it can also be used in our research.
Because it tastes very sour, more than the sourness of lemon.
Yes, ma'am. So we have not tried with that because the cost of, because we have trying with only the peels which comes out of. We are working on waste to wealth mostly. So the fruit based components are the pulp where we want to use it. So that can be directly goes for edible purpose. So we have not touched it. So we will try to find whether it is having that property or not in future.
In South India, sometimes it is, we'll be seeing it in the roads, it will be fallen in the roads, just like in vehicles will be moving on. So it is in Kerala and other parts of South India, it is available in ample.
Okay, ma'am. I will try with that, but that property will definitely differs when compared to citrus, because it is having different chemical composition when compared to citrus.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
And sir, Samira ji, Sucheta ji, and I guess one more Aparna ji, they all are asking like their diluted enzymes have gotten spoiled. They were smelling after a few days. And what could be the reason? And does that indicate that they have gone bad?
Because of the water what they have added, ma'am. Because if the water is having some microbes and substrate with it, so these microorganisms may utilize it, and because of that the smell or the bad odor may come. So it is based on the water dilution what they are using. It is based on the water. It is not based on the enzymes what they have added.
So is like distilled water recommended? Like if we want to increase the shelf life of diluted enzymes? Or how do we prevent that?
That's all. If you want to increase the shelf life, you can use pH range of 7. So
Okay.
if you are diluting anything with the pH 7, it will be in optimal level, and no further substrate should not be there. Some other dirt material or any other organic materials present in water, it will be start utilized by the some of the microbes which is present in garbage enzyme when we are diluting.
Okay. But Sucheta ji is saying that she's used RO water.
No, this is also, I would like to interfere.
No, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's also, again, this is just an experience, what I'm talking. When we leave the enzyme for longer time, as I said, the aged enzyme doesn't smell bad. And if that enzymes are diluted, there is no issue of that comes.
The freshly made enzymes.
Yeah, when your microbes are not stabilized, when
Maybe, maybe the stability has not been attained yet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I guess we don't have any more queries. So should we move forward? Yet another enriching session by Preeti ji, and she'll be focusing on the selection of ingredients. So Preeti ji, back to you.
It's already 9 now, and I think we can do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Understanding the ingredient and then the formulation of product and then the test what we have for all these. So let's not. I mean,
yeah, it's 9 already. Perfect. Perfect. So we will have a lot again for tomorrow in store. And thank you so much for our guests and our participants and the speakers and all the facilitators. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vandana ji. And sorry once again for interrupting because we had a time constraint, but it was such a very, very inspiring story. And thank you, everyone. So we will be looking forward for yet another enriching session tomorrow. Thank you so much. Let's wind up this session with a pledge.
Prachi, there's no sound. Vandana ji, we use enzymes for constructions also.
Preeti ji, sorry, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
I'm just running the.
So, all of you should start keeping this. It's a pH meter. You get it on Amazon and it's not expensive. It's very handy. So, instead of keeping these are there a part of my bag. So it's always handy. The pH meter and TDS meter.
Ma'am, can we get the name of the brand?
Any brand you get it on, I'll tell you what. On Amazon,
Because there are so many options. So which one is better?
Neer, Bonbio Neer.
N-E-E-R, Neer, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I pledge to embrace and promote the use of bioenzymes to protect our soil, air, and water. I commit to making and using bioenzyme for organic waste management, reducing chemical pollutants, and fostering sustainable ecosystems. Together, we'll safeguard our environment and create a cleaner, healthier world for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you so much.